Christmas, you filthy animal.
Jen Lou.
Christine Chi.
Surprise that was.
What?
That was such a surprise. I love that.
Do you?
You're getting so good at that.
Thank you. I've had some. Look, first, just let me say this. Before I won't forget, but I want to acknowledge this first. Thank you so much, Nadine. You're so sweet. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very, very much. You guys are too kind. Okay, I've had some tips and tricks from some really creative chick I know who's like, guided me, but then been like, but now, okay, bitch, do it. Go try it out. Go see how you do. Let me fly a little. Let me spread my wings.
I'm so impressed. I'm literally
Thank you.
so impressed. Great job.
Thank you. I take direction quite well.
I mean, gosh. I'm just gonna start charging more for my pep talks. It's gonna be free. It's gonna be $3.59 from now on.
Well, that might be too much for me. I might not be able to. Yeah.
I loved it. Great job.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it, babe.
All the things matched the beat. The writing was all completely legible. It was funny. It was informative. Just all around applause.
Yay! That's the best Google review I've ever gotten.
Heck yeah.
So I was looking for Christmas music, and I'm not a huge fan of Christmas music. Like, there's about 4 songs I like. I like Holly Jolly Christmas. I like, what's the other one I like?
That's about it.
No, I do like another one. I keep wanting to say, okay, it's really not this song. It's Carol of the Bells, but I actually like the way that Peter Griffin does it. Ding, fuzzer dun, ding, fuzzer dun.
I love it.
Gotta run. That one. I like that one. What's the
I
other
used
one?
to love that one song, I really can't stay. And then I found out it's like about sexual assault.
A little bit. Yeah.
And now I feel bad about it.
He's trying to get her lit and all that business. Yeah. Locking the door on her.
It ruined it.
Song. It's kind of dirty. Yeah. And it's kind of like illegal.
Well, that is not a consensual song.
Sounds like you're going to catch some charges. That's what that song reminds me of. I kind of like Last Christmas a little, but not that much. It's not one of my favorites. But I also like, what's the other one? Jingle Bell Rock. That's the only ones I really like.
I just really love, I don't really mind any Christmas music because I just love the season. So I just feel real cheesy all December. So I'm just down for whatever all month.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I was going through, putting how I do. Like, I'll start doing half of the video and then I'll be like, well, what kind of music am I going to put through this? So then I start looking through for music, and
that takes just as long.
Yeah, Epidemic Sound has this whole playlist called, I feel like it's Christmas Trap. I think that's the name of it. Some of the songs on there, I was like, oh my God. But then I was like, no, YouTube's not ready. This is not going to appeal to a wide audience.
Yeah. I mean, I know my way around a Christmas intro, if I do say so myself. I haven't done one in a while though. So I liked your music.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I also like the picture behind our heads. I was cracking up. Okay, so you guys, if you don't know how a live usually happens, usually Jen, Lou, and I will meet back here 10, 15, sometimes even longer, in advance, and we'll just talk it out so we don't have to do it in front of you. And I just got here, so pardon me for being a little bit surprised. When we went live, I panicked. I looked under my elbows and stuff because I thought I hit something. And here we are.
You don't have that power.
We don't have to. We have no preparation. We're ready to do it. We woke up ready.
Well, yeah. I woke up like this. So yeah, Well, here's the deal. I got caught up chatting about the Idaho 4, but I'm good now.
Mhm.
So
I'm ready for this. I
then
mean, I've been
I am
ready.
too.
Shout out to Nate because she did suggest this one. I was like,
Thank
that
you,
is
Nay.
right up our alley.
It is right up our alley. I've been asked to roast her before, and I was apprehensive because of the
Uh-huh.
type of crime that it is. But I thought to myself, right? I was like,
She
she's
roasts
not
everyone
doing
up.
anything. She's keeping to herself. She's like in WITSEC or whatever the hell she's doing, right? But then she went ahead and made this documentary, and I was like, nope, gloves are off. Now it's
Oh my
time.
gosh! So did you see it?
Yes, I saw it. I'm going to do a whole. You saw it. I'm going to do a whole thing on it, but I'm
So
going to do
another
it
shout out.
different.
Oh my gosh, it was okay. So another shout out to Nate because she let me watch it on her Peacock. But I only got through like 1.5 episodes before I was like, I cannot. Listen, when I pushed play, I got to minute 36 seconds before I was already mad. And when she's like framing the pictures of the drawings and stuff, I cannot with
Oh,
this woman. So I'm
when she,
ready.
yeah, when she brought all her crap to the freaking Airbnb in an undisclosed location.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder how long that production team, because at the beginning it says they moved into a house. They had like a week of interviewing to do. They got all their
Well,
drives around in 2 days. They did some
here's the
interviews for
thing, though.
two
Did
days.
you notice how they did the driving? So
What?
when they were filming for the driving, okay, first of all, let me just say this. When she went to
I
Orlando,
thought she was good.
to Universal Studios, right? Orlando doesn't look like that down. That's not how Orlando. I mean, it does from 27 feet, 1,000 feet above, right? It's like a. Lycan said this the other day, and he's right because I almost said it too. Orlando's a Monet. It looks great from far away, but up close up, it's a big old mess. Okay. But they were very, very careful about how they filmed and what exactly they filmed as they were driving, because there are some specific landmarks that if anybody wanted to sleuth slash snoop, Google Earth would have all that stuff. So it's whatever, but she's gross. And yeah, I watched it. I will say this. Um, there is nothing that she said in that interview that changed my mind. However, because I like true crime so much, I'm not satisfied just saying Casey Anthony is a lying liar mouth who tells lies. Oh, no, 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 no. No. I'm going to prove that Casey Anthony is a lying liar mouth who tells lies using every single thing that she said in that documentary, or excuse me, docu-series. So that will be what Beyond the docu-series is about. I'm going to break every single thing that she said down, and we're going to figure out whether she's telling the truth or whether she's lying, because that documentary was so skewed. I've never
Oh
seen a more
God, it was
skewed
gross.
documentary, especially for somebody who didn't have creative control. That,
Wait,
to me, that is such a disconnect. Because that's the first question they ask, right?
so many things. I have so many things to make fun of about that documentary.
What made you sit down and do this interview knowing you have no creative control? I got all the creative control, bitch. Like, it's 6 hours of Casey's creative control, for Pete's sake. Come on.
So did you hear about how they asked Nancy Grace to take part, and Nancy Grace was like, "Hell no." Did you hear that?
No, but
Because
I do remember Nancy Grace covering it. And
no, they asked her to take part, but they said
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
she wasn't allowed to ask the questions, like whatever questions she wanted. They were going to give her the questions to ask. So she's like, "Nope."
I wouldn't
Which
do that either. I
I
would be
know,
like,
right?
I'm either going to ask my questions or I'm going to ask no questions. No softballs here. No, 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 no. This is all the way fast pitch. I'm out. If
I
you're
just, I would like to know
there
how they
with
were
the
going to
ball a
pay
couple
Nancy.
of times, I'm not doing it.
I
You're
want to
not
know
going
how
to
they
let
were going
me
to pay
ask her a
Nancy Grace.
question. Do what? Say it
I want to
again.
know how they were going to pay Nancy Grace for because I mean they went way over budget, like with their animations and stuff.
Stop it. I keep all the, I try.
I'm
So
sorry. We're not
it's
here to talk
always,
about that.
no, we're not, but it's always interesting to me how people try to take like an idea of something and make it tangible. So when Casey Anthony is talking
That's
about
not what
how
they did. Nobody would agree to play her in the reenactments.
compartmentalized, she could have played herself.
I don't think
She could have played herself. When they were talking about what they were trying to show is the concept of compartmentalizing. And they had this
cartoon.
animation of shelves. You know what it looked like? It looked
Oh my
like
gosh!
if you
What?
go to
Tell me.
IKEA, you know how IKEA gives you the directions, right? But I think IKEA might have stepped their game up and given, because they're all written and they're horrible picture directions. If you're a visual learner and you're putting something together from IKEA, spoiler alert, your host.
Uh-huh.
But this looked like that they've decided that they need to step their game up for visual learners. So there's like a link that you can go to in the directions. And that's what it looked like.
This is their QR code.
That's what it looked like. Oh, bless
Oh
you,
my
Nestor.
gosh.
Did you hear that? That
Oh,
was a
bless
loud
you. Yeah,
sneeze. That was a Nestor
she
sneeze.
flushed
This
again.
was
She's playing it
amazing.
off.
Stop it.
Just kidding.
You're the one that's always in the bathroom. You see how she projects?
Okay. Oh my gosh! But you know what? She has so much nerve, because this is the last thing I have to say about that documentary is that the last place that you need to like even go sit in the parking lot, Casey, is the fucking jail. Like, so
I was thinking, like, bitch, you better hope you ain't got no damn traffic warrants out there, because you know they gonna pick your ass
She's not
up.
supposed to be within 500 feet of this place. I don't know. Oh my god.
She's a mess,
I
man.
hated it.
And the way that she was like, it was 3 years of hell. Bitch, it was jail. Have you ever heard anybody get out of jail and be like, man, that was the funnest place I've ever been in my life. When can I go back? Never.
Oh, I loved the detective though. How he was so funny. Like like undercover funny, just like spicy. And he'd be like
shade.
yeah, he'd look at her picture of like her partying at the booty contest or whatever it was.
Yes.
And he's like this. They're like, what is that picture of? And he's like, a mom grieving her child. And he was just like so flatline about it. Or when he was saying like, she lied about everything and everything and everything. So would you believe her now? Oh my gosh, he was funny. I liked him a lot.
I did too. There were some good moments in there. But we're going to get to that. We will not tonight though, obviously. Tonight, we're going to go all the way back. And go over this freaking interrogation interview with Miss Casey Anthony. So
not the one at Universal, even though that's fantastic too, but it's just audio.
Yeah, no, I only have this one. Because Christine was sweet enough to send me a Google Drive to share, but for whatever reason, it wouldn't work for me. So this interrogation comes from Shemada's Pictures. If one of you mods could do me a favor and drop Shmita's link in the chat, I would appreciate it. She gave me special permission to use it. So that is what we will be going over tonight. And we'll just see how Casey Anthony's relationship with the truth turns out. Spoiler alert, not good. She's a liar. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, first of all, I have to share the screen. Get it together, Jen.
The picture behind our head. The picture behind our head is not the one on the thumbnail, but it's funny.
It's the same one. I just added
her caption, everything.
Oh, the caption, yeah. I like to be nicer on thumbnails, and then the real me in the background. The StreamYard.
I liked your caption better than mine, which I've been collecting. No, I sent you the picture of Lori
Oh, yeah,
and Casey.
Competency camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the crazies.
Lori, I know somebody out there will get this back to you, hopefully, if you have any friends at all. Stop playing around. You are competent, okay? You have some wrong thinking, but you're sane. And you know how I know you're sane? Because you tried to cover it up. So stop playing with people. Stop messing around. Stop wasting time and money. Let's get this show on the road and get this trial going, all right? You're going to have 12 jurors who are going to decide your fate, all right? That's what's going to happen. Stop fighting it. Or take a plea. That's your other choice. But I know you're
That's
too.
going to be such a long trial.
It's gonna be like the Pike County. It's gonna be like the Pike County Massacre trial. And that's all right. I'll cover it. All 51 days of it, I covered. Show wheel. All right, here we go.
But let me have to use the restroom. So if you'll give me a minute,
That's right.
and then we'll get you a phone, and we will call your attorney. Okay? Oh. I'll sit here with you.
All right.
Let's see what water.
How is the closed captioning not working? This is not helpful to me.
I don't know if I should apologize for what happened on the highway or not.
Wait, so she's just got arrested for, like, indicted, right?
I don't think, yeah, I know for a fact that he didn't know.
Hold on a second. Let me hear what she says.
Intentional on anybody's part for any of it, so.
Yeah.
I know that didn't look good, but I mean, you can understand why.
I know that didn't look good. Nothing that you do fucking looks good, Casey.
Was she talking about being at Universal right there?
Okay, no, because I'm not tell you why. Because I distinctly remember the outfit that she was wearing at Universal.
It was like a tank top.
Well, no, it was like that. Well, not a tank top. She had on that shirt but it had a hood. You know.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Like she's still shopping at JCPenney wearing Bobby Jack outfits. Grow up, Casey. Yeah. I don't know what the hell she's doing here. This looks like she's been to court.
If I got caught doing that, I would have gotten my ticket.
She thinks she's at a job interview.
Right. Just joking with the cop. They don't like you.
She's waiting for the interviewer to come in.
Figured going through the airport, it's restricted airspace, so they can't take the helicopters through. And we thought that the cars that were following us from my attorney's office were media, because there was a media van that followed us and another van that went with them. So we're thinking,
She's explaining why she ran.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or sped up or failed to pull over.
So
I know it does. I'd like to make it stop happening, to be honest with you.
I would too.
Or maybe.
Oh my God.
Maybe don't lie about the whereabouts of your daughter for 31 days.
This guy tries to give her an out. This guy is trying to give her a way to just
I've said it to your mom. I've said it to your
give
dad,
up Kaylee
I've said it
and
to your brother.
Yeah. I'm going to mute for just a second because I think Nestor needs that.
That's
Hold on.
something that they all agreed upon was the fact that you've extended, your hand to help. Most people haven't.
Right.
So.
I was afraid that some of what I said to them probably offended them, because I told them that if I find out something that you don't want to hear,
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you anyway.
Well,
Just
honestly,
because-
they'll respect that. That's just, the type of people that they are. I'm the same way.
I know they are. But when I hit them with certain things, they don't want to hear it. And I understand that.
Yeah. Well,
But it doesn't mean I'm not going to say it.
exactly. When you have different beliefs than somebody, it is hard sometimes to hear their opinion.
she knows all about mutual
Doesn't mean
respect.
that they don't respect your opinion or the fact that.
I didn't do that, guys.
I forgot to unmute. Sorry. I'm going to have to stop you right now, ma'am. First of all, we're not talking about mutual respect or a different belief system. All right. This is not an argument over whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza. I'm of the opinion that it doesn't. Am I going to side-eye somebody who eats it? No, not really. It's not my mouth, so it's not my problem. Okay. So I'm not a fan of like cooked vegetables or fruits, really. That's my real problem with it being on the pizza, is that it's cooked.
Okay, so we're talking about the pizza now?
Right.
Well,
so
I
bottom
agree
line
with
is
you on this one, so we're good.
we're good. Okay. This is not that argument. All right. This isn't an argument about whether you put the toilet paper over or under, ma'am. Okay? We're talking about whether or not you unalived your child. This is not like, we're not talking about how to split up a dozen donuts, okay? Should we get all glazed, 3 glazed, some chocolate, cake? Go away.
With what you think or what you feel. So
Yeah.
Validate his
Also,
Okay.
feelings,
it's comforting to
Casey.
hear you say that.
She's
Right.
manipulative.
Way to
It's not my
mirror.
intention to piss anybody in your family off. I'm not in it to get a conviction. I get nothing out of it. I get 0.
exactly, you have a job you're
She's
trying
not
to
just
do.
dumb. She's dumb and delusional.
I found a few, and I've not found a few, and it sucks both ways.
I agree.
Okay, Casey, you're having this heart to heart. Are you aware of where the fuck you're at, first of all, and what you're in trouble for, second of all? But that aside, I just can't.
But the more important issue right here is that she has asked for her attorney already. And he's still talking. He's like literally, and he knows what he's doing. He's very smart, I'm sure. He's trying to give her away out of this whole thing. Like, just tell us where Kaylee's body is at. And this interview is going to be legal into court anyway. We just want the body, And she doesn't
Exactly.
take the bait.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Hey, to everybody who's just come in, if you haven't done so already, give your girl a thumbs up. I would appreciate it.
I've heard most people say that. They don't like attorneys very much.
They don't like
many
you
family
either.
Members that are attorneys, I have no problem with attorneys.
I like attorneys. I don't like baby
At
unalivers.
some point,
Mm-hmm.
we have
Mhm.
to set aside the rules. And we
She
have to fight
nods and says yes, like she understands what he's
Wait.
saying.
And you know what?
Right. Did you even hear what he just said, Casey Anthony? He said at some point we have to set aside the rules
Yeah.
to find kids. That means that there is a potential the camera is fixing to have some kind of malfunction. Right? No, I'm just kidding. But I mean,
Probably.
It wouldn't be a great. That's the first thought I would. Oh shit! They're about to beat my ass and make me talk. I would not be agreeing. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm having the time of my life.
But she's so
That's
dumb
why I
because he
told you
knows
to
that if this goes to court, this
You know,
won't be
if you tell me
admissible.
anything now,
Right.
I'll get up and say, yep, I
Okay.
heard it, and she'd already invoked it. We can't use any of
See?
it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. That's all that matters.
Oh, she's so dumb.
And,
Mm-hmm.
when we did,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
did another case that I was involved in,
Oh,
they
That's-
lost a confession. And I
Oh,
sat
they
down and
did?
cried at the guy's
Look
door.
at him.
That's not what's
Who
important.
cares?
Yeah.
We found her. We found her, and he's gonna get what is coming to him. That's not my job.
Mhm.
And it works out.
Mm-hmm.
And it works out in the end on all sides.
Mhm.
To be honest with you, it may not be comfortable for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've done things that if I get caught for, I'm not gonna be comfortable. I can tell you that. It's just the way life
Oh.
is.
Now he's trying to identify.
But it's
I'm
not
a
the end of the
criminal.
day.
You're a criminal.
And-
I've done.
She's like,
some
yeah, on the
shit.
last
You've
case
done
I was
some
involved
shit.
with.
Yeah.
She's gonna volley back
Are there
with her
cameras in all of them,
experience.
or
I
is it
have
just
no
some?
freaking clue. I've
Yeah.
never been in this part of the building, so
Well, I know this is
my
new.
guess would be yes.
God, why she ask that weird question?
Soda, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, nothing?
No.
You good?
Thank
She's
you.
like, I don't want to deposit my DNA. I'll just sit here and be
I would guess
dehydrated.
yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Well, my mom wasn't aware that there was a camera in the room, I guess, when she met with Melanie.
Oh, you don't need to do this for your mom right now.
The big interviews that were released to the media.
They don't have
she
to tell
was
you shit.
infuriated.
She was
You would think
infuriated.
that that's something that, you should be told, but you don't have to.
No.
The law is the law,
Yeah.
and I will play within the rules of the law.
Like right now.
It's a tool that's available to me that I can use later to look back on and see if I missed something or could I have done something better. I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would assume that this place probably has one somewhere.
Exactly.
That would be
I understand.
really something that records
Mhm.
audio, so either way.
I can tell you, I don't.
Like the bug on my phone.
Um, Yeah, they'll probably be somewhat unhappy when they see my interviews with them. Those haven't been released yet, but they were on video.
Well, it's just part of the discovery, so.
Yeah. It'll all come out.
Yeah.
You're just
It's
doing
part
your
of
job.
Discovery.
They'll understand.
Like I said,
Don't hate the
Yeah.
hustle.
I have worked
Right.
for one person
I'm
in
just-
every one of these cases.
Look,
that
you know,
doesn't
look,
have
I don't
anything
want to be a problem for you. I've already, asked for my lawyer, and we can hear, I'm just going to kick it with you while we wait for him to get down here. But, it's not that, I'm not going to be any hassle or a burden to you. Let's be friends.
Hey, I'm interviewing usually.
Understandable.
It's not
You're in
a,
a tough
it's not
in
a
a tough
slight on them.
place.
You're in handcuffs, Ho.
Different people. In many different positions.
Hmm.
None of which are comfortable. And those things always get in the way that you have on your hands.
Those aren't the kind of positions she's comfortable in, sir.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you have your brain on your hands, what? Okay, I've never had my brain on my hands or my hands on my brain. It's nice and closed in the skull where it's intended to be. What you talking about, sir? And she's just laughing like a ninny.
Here's my question.
Oh, you've got a
What is
question.
it?
A question that a lot of people have asked.
She's a
The
great
grand jury
job
and all
interviewer.
that. It's supposed to be secret.
Oh, here
But
we
it was
go.
released to the media right off the bat. My dad hadn't even been subpoenaed, and that was released.
Uh-huh.
So I just
Injustice.
That's kind of funny, and the fact that they invited the media in when they were releasing the decision. My mom had received a text message from someone within the media
Yeah.
saying they're letting all of a sudden when they make the decision. We're thinking, are you serious?
There are rules.
Casey, you heard things are funny.
I am quite sure that one of the rules that was followed was that when the decision to indict has been made,
Mhm.
Yeah, let's explain
that
this
part
to
of it
me.
is public,
Yeah, that part's public.
and they can let the media into the courtroom at that point.
Yeah.
I bet, this is just my
Yeah.
bet, I don't know.
Okay, let me just stop you right there because you know
Yeah,
what? My good
sure.
friend, our good friend, Molson Man brought this up. He asked me about grand juries because of what was in the documentary, docu-series, the bullshit on Peacock. I'm not putting you down, Peacock. It's not your fault. But I went and Googled, as I do, the grand jury and what the rules are for the grand jury. And the thing that has to be secret is who the grand jury is made up of and what evidence and testimony was given. That's it. Everything else is public.
I don't know what the Florida rules
So
are.
whatever you
I'm
say,
not
Casey,
familiar with that.
you should have
What
Googled. I know
bet
you were
is that it was
Googling
done
other
under
things on your
seal, and there were no
computer.
names and no official charges probably read aloud.
Mhm.
It probably just was, there's been an indictment received in a case, and that's it.
Well, when the media was out there all day and they knew about this a week ago that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's just
But you wanted them to tell you?
Secret. And
The
everything was
The happenings,
released.
the happenings are secret.
Thank you.
What takes place within the room is.
Explain it to her,
But as
Detective.
far
I
as
didn't catch
when
your
it
name.
actually is
Sorry.
Convened and pulled together the witnesses and stuff like that. That's not also supposed to be secret.
No,
It depends
They're
on
all-
how they're
They're
subpoenaed.
discussing the grand jury that
The
indicted
the grand
her.
jury. And here comes
Like
Casey.
that's-
his attorney saw
That's
it.
going over her head.
Right, but here she comes with her heal the world, make it a better place. Like, what are you going to do about this, Casey? You think that something happened to you that was unjust? I would say the
Yeah.
unjust thing that happened is what happened to your daughter.
I gotta say that she probably does great at job interviews. Like she comes
She's-
back with like the questions, and she has a question ready for them. Like when they say, "Do you have any questions for me?" Yep, she's got one.
Oh, I'm sure she does.
She's a professional bullshitter. I mean, actually,
She is.
but
You know what I want to get a hold of, which I think that I can because I'm a Florida resident. I think it'd be easier for me. I want to get my hands on all of those evaluations that she had and have a qualified professional look at them and see what they say. Because I cannot believe that there is not some type of personality disorder, some kind of cluster B bullshit, something with her. There's got to be. She's not a
very
psychopath, though.
She's very amberish, like the way she was talking to the interviewer.
Oh,
the-
yes.
Like her mannerisms were very Amber-esque.
Yes. And the times when you should be sad about what's happened to you, like it's okay to feel bad about something that's happened to you, right? But I don't know, all of her emotions are like ass backwards. They're like the opposite of what, and I don't even, not normal people, because let's be honest, normal is relative, but the average person, what is common. And no, Casey, don't. You know what else I wonder? I would have asked her, and nobody did ask her this, or maybe they did, but it wasn't on camera. So back in the day, there used to be a Facebook group called Mommy Wars. There's been several of them. They've had to regenerate because every so often the thing gets taken down. But there was an account in there that was called Casey Anthony. And listen, there was no, I don't think it was really her, but I just would ask her. I just want to know, just for my own, just to be able to close that file for sure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But whoever had it very well locked down, because even I couldn't snoop more than like a cursory snoop. I couldn't really do the things that you would need to be able to do. You know what I mean? To figure it out, because it was locked down pretty good. All right, here we go.
But if the subpoena itself is just a regular federal or grand jury subpoena, that's public record.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what it's for. It doesn't say what case it's in. It doesn't. It just says you're subpoenaed to appear before the grand jury.
Well, with them announcing that, there was going to be a grand jury, and obviously my name was thrown out, they knew who the grand jury was for.
Who threw your name out?
The media said that it was.
You're right, Casey. Throw out the indictment right now.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Look,
this is not fair.
That's where they all say it's.
Right. Like, look here, ma'am. Let me just explain something to you. Nothing as big as or as important was going on in Orange County at this time. So if there was a grand jury summons, I was a pretty good guess, right? I would take the odds on that it would be you. And by the way,
tell her those aren't bracelets. She's not wearing their bracelets right now.
Right. And here's another thing,
cuffs.
Casey. When you ask a question, it's always nice to shut the fuck up so you can hear the answer.
Tell you what I think.
I can't stand her, man. This one's going to be hard, y'all. Like mean.
That doesn't make it any
less
less
indicting.
necessary. Without them, I'll be quite honest with you.
You're not negative indictment. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. It helps. The exposure has helped bring in so many tips for my daughter.
But at the same time, what it creates is a monster that otherwise isn't necessary.
Exactly.
The tips are what the tips
I
are.
love when the tips come in and chase you guys around.
Local media,
Right. I made up several of mine. Remember, Zanny? Wasn't that funny, y'all, when we took a trip out to the
Well, you get the tips.
to the
How
apartment
mortifying.
complex.
Wait, press pause again. How freaking mortifying. And then they brought in like the guy that like she barely knew. Like he was like in her 6th grade class or something. And she had just like only like partied with him once, and he happened to tell her his kid's nanny's name. And then she says that, like and then they bring him on the stand. Like, how mortifying.
How about when they tracked down Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez? And she was like, I ain't got no baby.
I
What are
don't know
you
this
talking
bitch."
about? And she was terrified, y'all. And that's what this, and then here she is. She's been arrested on murder now at this point. This is because when they first arrested her in Orlando, it was child neglect and oh cripes, I can't think of the other one.
False statements or something?
Lying, probably.
Yeah.
Obstructing, I think is what she got in trouble for. But yeah, now this is the most serious crime you can be indicted for. Okay. And here she
You
is.
better take Pepsi.
I would drink a Pepsi right now because you know that the cop shop Pepsi is way better than the jail Pepsi. That shit's probably expired. Mm-mm. They probably don't even have Pepsi at the jail. They probably got like Sam's Choice, Dr. Thunder, that kind of stuff.
And
I don't care.
Sardines.
What?
Like canned sardines.
Yeah.
You take that McDonald's. Chris Watts had that right. He just was about to eat everything. That's how you do it.
Yeah. You have I'm finna go to jail. Let me eat good.
Okay, let me call
Now,
Hawaii,
ones
let me
from
send them out,
Georgia
let me do
and
that.
ones that are a little bit
Th-
closer.
Those are what I
range.
consider local, because
Yeah.
the local
It's in
stations
close
are gonna
range.
cover that,
Yeah.
that's contiguous to the
She
station.
understands.
It's not.
When people are only getting their information from the Nancy Graces or from Globe magazine or People or stuff like that.
Globe.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right
Globe.
there, ma'am.
Globe magazine.
First of all, how dare you? People magazine is a national institution in this country, man. My
She's a
mom
Globe.
got a People magazine every Saturday when she went grocery shopping at the Lucky's. Okay?
Yeah.
So don't you dare try to put
That was the classy one. That
people-
was the expensive one too.
Thank you.
Okay?
Don't you dare. They got inside interviews. Michael Jackson, they had Princess Di, all the people, right? That's not Globe, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate you putting them in the same category, lady.
You can say you will
Go.
not see me sit down and be interviewed by People or Globe or anybody else. It's not gonna happen.
That's a good one.
Go.
Later writes a book.
Yeah.
Entree food, my friend.
Oh, now he speaks French.
That was a long ride without doing that. Then that
This
adrenaline
detective.
done all at the same time.
Don't even wanna know what we're talking about.
Oh, I really
You know.
enjoy it. I like when they have a beach thing.
I'm just gonna let that go.
I like the salmon.
Oh,
Oh,
she's gonna let that one fly.
Bad, right?
okay. You got jokes, Casey? Mm.
Oh, my bracelets. Thank
Real
you.
call me on my cell phone.
Okay.
She's gonna be like, I bought these at the jewelry store last week. They're like,
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
those are our cuffs.
Well, she probably.
Just slide your hand out. No,
I-
I'll get
I
it.
I
honestly-
think we're available.
So they're a little tight.
This bitch would shoplift them.
Thanks for entertaining us. Just slide your
Way to
hand
go,
out.
Corporal Edwards.
Actually, if I could, I would have done that for you. at
Do you know
that time,
Baez's
but-
phone number off the top of your head?
No, I do not.
How can we get the cell number or his number?
I know his office number,
What is that?
407
Mm-hmm.
705 2626.
Did you see Mr. Savage while you wrote that?
Yeah. You want to go speak with him and give me a handcuff key that fits? Do you
How
want
about
it?
that?
And I'll have her shoot a phone call to Mr. Baez.
You do that.
Now, once again,
Where is he?
should be
Do I get that?
in talking to the
I
chief
think
down
he
there.
needs a map to get back there.
This is a
Casey,
rat thing.
no.
Right here?
Yeah, he
No
doesn't know
joking.
how to get back
She's
there.
so
I've
clever.
identified myself. You know why you're in custody.
Yes.
No, I know she doesn't.
And you have, when you
Yeah.
sign this, you want your attorney present.
Yes.
Through that conversation, we have agreed,
Yes.
because express that to me again, so I have full understanding before I get on the phone with him.
We discussed before that we have no problem sitting
Another
down
lie.
together, him and
Who
I,
is
and
we?
speaking with law
Bitch, you got a mouse in your
enforcement, or listening
pocket?
to all the questions that you have.
She's
and then
making this
discussing,
up
and then
on the
we go
fly.
from there.
Right.
And there's been no
Mr.
success
Baez
with that
is gonna
so
get in
far.
here and be like, what the fuck? But he
So
plays it
we're
off.
We're gonna,
He's gonna be like, I
Open
tell
that.
that bitch shit, but you know he's her lawyer, so he can't throw her under the rug. You
Yeah,
know
he
what
plays
I mean?
it. He plays it off real good.
window right now,
Bless it.
and hopefully we
Wait
can
a minute. You're opening what window? There's no window. What are you talking about? A window.
They just
make something
pulled the
happen.
top down on that Corvette. She didn't. She
Because
stayed in it.
ultimately,
Lord.
I think we have the same interest.
No, you don't.
Finding your daughter. 262.
No,
No.
she's trying to get a job.
You're right.
She wants her HR paperwork, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Ed, it's Casey. Can you do me a favor and call Jose, or can you give me Jose's cell phone number so I can call him?
I'm in this job
Okay,
interview.
great, thanks.
I need to talk to him. I need a reference.
They sized my bracelets wrong. Who do I see about that? I don't think these are real sterling silver. See how I'm getting green?
They brought me in here and I told them how we talked. Wink, wink.
Nod, nod.
How do you know she even dialed the right number, sir?
I was gonna
She
say-
probably
He dialed
dialed
it for her.
Domino's.
I was
Oh.
thinking that same thing, and he dialed it for her.
I'm with Corporal Edwards. I know the last name, sorry. I'm at the
We're having lunch.
Sheriff's Department if you'd like to come down and meet with us. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it's just the lunch date. if you'd like
Yeah,
to.
we're
Come on, join us.
Okay, great, thanks.
We're just gonna have a little picnic here at the Popo station.
Hello?
Giving me information.
Orange County Sheriff's Office.
This bitch, I'm gonna stop you right here because I need
Young
to
and
pause.
50.
Why does she act? You know what this whole conversation reminds me of? Remember when you were trying to coordinate a party or getting to a party? Who was going to give the ride? What time we were
Yeah,
going to get there?
I
Where
was
we were
thinking
all going to meet up? Oh, by the way, Christine, I need you to bring that real slutty top I like. That kind of thing.
I
That's
need
what
your
this
mom to
is
talk
like.
to. I need your mom to talk to my mom real quick. Hold on.
That's what this is like. That's what this is like. But here
Remember,
she
we
goes.
were just to watch movies. We
Yeah.
talked about it.
We talked about it, Chris. Remember, we got homework to do. Remember that project?
Yeah, we Mirandized her at 4:22, and she stated that you've done a great job. She invoked, but she also
So he's
said
a
that she,
piece of shit.
that her exasperation is the same as ours. You guys have wanted the opportunity to speak with law enforcement face to face. And
He told her not to
let's-
say anything to
if-
you guys.
If you guys are interested in doing that, let's get that done.
She's been speaking to law
Put the finger
enforcement
pointing,
face
okay?
to face. That's what got her arrested on the first charges. What are you talking about?
We're game on? Game on?
Hey,
They all-
Alex.
they
Listen,
all-
babe. We're just getting started. We've just been basically
Hi.
making fun of nothing has even
Where's he
happened
getting
here.
He's from here.
Anybody else need a drink?
Who's the beverage
She's
girl?
lying around. That's not the bartender.
Appreciate your help.
No problem.
Can I get a wedge of
Mr.
lemon,
Baez is on the
please?
way.
Does anybody else need a drink? Rounds on me, guys.
All right.
You guys need anything? I'm better now. I'm gonna get out.
Whoever can
Anything?
spell the most Talented wins.
She thinks she's important.
B-A-Z.
Hard one.
We have a
Yes,
private meeting.
Baez is incredibly difficult to spell. Stop touching your hair,
To answer
Casey.
other
It's
questions,
gross.
From that picture, I cut my hair, it was really short, even last year, I just started growing it back
What
out
the fuck
this
are you
year,
talking
so
about?
No, but
Who cares?
girl,
Yes, about.
who asked about that?
What the hell?
Nobody cares about your hair,
If you want my hairdresser's number, I'll give it to you right now. I know it.
He's
Right,
at the office.
He's at the office.
Domino's.
We have a bit of time.
Hmm.
That's fine. And we went through the formalities of this, make sure everything's above board, and like I said before,
We shouldn't be talking to you right now, but we're gonna anyway.
okay? We just-
Well, we're not asking you any questions. We're just making idle chit chat.
Eye contact.
May I step out for a minute?
Absolutely.
And I'll be back. You sure you don't want anything to drink?
I'm fine, thank you.
Handcuff key. Where'd my handcuff go?
Moving out.
Oh, it's a pawn shop.
Their bracelets. Okay, I'm your friend again. Remember, I'm the friend one.
It's been a long day.
It has been.
How was my dad this morning?
The small talk this bitch makes.
Honestly.
She's a master.
Saw from the
Just
meeting,
a minute.
got a chance to.
This I gotta say this, you guys, because even if you didn't watch the documentary, you all know what she said at trial, right? How's she asking about her dad? This is the part of Casey Anthony that has never ever made sense to me.
She hasn't thought of that lie yet.
Okay,
Not here.
gotcha.
That's coming. That's
Okay.
coming.
Okay.
I spoke to him last night and this morning for just a quick second before he left, so.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning for a little bit. He was with Mark and, he was really struggling. I mean, I can imagine he was having a hard time. He was being called in to essentially provide testimony to indict you, to at least. And he was really struggling with that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And
It must have been hard for him.
I felt bad for him, to be honest with you. I truly did.
Well, I even told him last night, I know he was subpoenaed, and under the law, he had to answer whatever questions were asked him, and I told him to do what he had to do.
Oh
At that point,
Jesus!
if he didn't, he'd be held in contempt of court.
God. Give her a star. Gold star.
Did she really just give her dad a pep talk before he
Where's her
went in
citizenship certificate?
and spoke to the grand jury? Isn't there an island we can ship people like this off to? That's
Yeah, Florida.
Florida's a peninsula, a-hole.
Peninsula.
I want a whole
Sorry.
ass. I want a whole ass island. Nothing connected to the mainland. You know where I ought to send her? Well, no, because the Keys are pretty and the barrier islands are pretty too. There's got to be some gross ass island we can send her to, like one of the islands on Survivor. You know where the rats came and stole their brides and stuff like that. That kind of island.
I don't want
Mhm.
to see that happen. So
What did he say?
he just hugged me and told me that he loved me, and I know he was struggling with it.
You know who would love her? Chris Watts.
Who? Chris Watts would love her.
I could see that with the little bit that I saw from the media.
He really would.
The picture.
Yeah.
They think a lot alike.
The little bit of
They're
footage
right
that
up
they
each
had,
other's
so-
alley.
Mm.
And we watched it online a little bit. I try to stay away from the TV as much as possible, at least with the internet. I can scroll through.
Like when she's looking up foolproof suffocation. She doesn't. So
See, learn a little lesson from Casey right here. You know how sometimes you be seeing stuff on the internet, you know, and you're like, ugh, right? And you may be tempted to comment, but don't be like Casey. Just scroll right through it.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. That outfit is not even
Google
on
is what
trend.
gotten her into this mess anyway. Okay.
It's all Google's fault.
I have been. I mean, this is something honestly we've been
Wait,
preparing for.
Honestly,
from the
wait, hold on. I
beginning.
have a question to ask though about her Google
Directly
search about
spoken from.
the
Yes.
foolproof suffocation. So I mean, duh. If you're I think it's duh. If you're looking up suffocation, you don't want. You,
It's not
Isn't it all-
suffocation unless the end result is you're no longer, the
what is-
person is
what
no
is
longer
the
alive.
foolproof? Like, what is the foolproof? That's like the lawfulest law. Like, what's the suffingest suffocation?
That's not a word. Here's the deal. It's not okay. If the person wakes up, it's not been a successful suffocation.
Yeah. What's the foolproof way to do it? There's only one. There's only one
Restrict
outcome.
breathing. I mean, what the crap, Casey? Who even looks that up?
I mean, she was like 2 years away from just being totally. I mean, she got lucky. That would, I mean, a couple years later, that she would have never gotten away with that kind of all those searches, and then they messed it up like that.
No. In fact, remember when Marcia Clark had that show on A&E?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've watched it like twice.
They put together the parts that they couldn't back in the day when the trial happened, and they have it pretty well nailed down to it was Casey who searched those items, because at one point, Cindy had tried to take credit for the chloroform, saying that she was looking up something related to plants, but she typoed it. Okay, you can typo whatever.
To toughing it to suffocation.
But here's the deal about typoing. You don't typically click on the wrong ass thing that you typoed, right? So if you typed it into search, it's not going to come up in any meaningful way unless you click the link, ding dong. So somebody clicked that link. It is what it is, right? But I just want to talk about this, just one thing serious, just real quick. So I was thinking about this. When Casey went to trial for first degree murder, she was what, 23?
Yeah.
Right? And they were going to give her the death penalty, right? That's what was on the table. And we were talking about this in Allie's like a week ago about Leilani. And I was thinking about it. And I actually have changed my mind. I actually think that if they have the evidence to prove it, I think Leilani could very well end up with the death penalty, because they don't really care about her youth. She's young, but Casey was young too.
Oh,
So-
she's not young for me to feel. She's old enough to have known better. That's not like a teenager or anything.
Right, exactly. All right, here we go.
And also from Sergeant Allen. They were saying that this is what they were planning on doing from the very beginning, from that first day. So they wrote me off within the first couple hours.
Oh, at Universal?
They wrote you off because you lied.
You took them to Universal.
You took them to a hallway that ended in a dead end.
Trying to say something derogatory towards someone, but
No, it's okay. We're just talking.
Yeah.
We're just chatting.
Yeah.
that was the only time they ever made any effort to try to talk to me one-on-one. And
You wanted them to do it again?
consider
Well,
it.
Jesus fuck. This- Okay. Let me just give you guys some free advice here. Now listen, I am not an attorney. I don't even play one on TV or on the YouTubes, but I know a little something about a lot of things. Okay. And the wrongest place for you to be talking poorly about the popo is to the popo. Okay.
No, this is her friend. He got her
Don't.
this interview.
Yeah. We made a few calls. Got her moved right to the front of the line.
This is a reference during our next jail stint.
Makes it more difficult to sit down and even talk to you.
Mhm.
It's not that we haven't wanted to.
Yeah. But I do have counsel, and that's something that, my attorney's always been a phone call away. And it shouldn't have taken it getting to this point, 3 months in.
Has your attorney ever told you that we would like to speak to you?
And we had agreed, him and I together, that we would all sit down
Lie.
together, him and I.
Off the top of
We
your
would
head.
all sit down together and what?
Entertain whatever questions you have, and
And when he gets in there and she says that to him and winks, he's like,
yeah, understandably.
Bless it.
I thought that you were aware that if you wanted to talk to anybody,
Mhm.
that all you gotta do is simply ask.
Yeah, well, I know it goes both ways on that, and I guess it would have needed to come from me. I should have been the one to, I guess.
Report your
come
daughter
forward with it,
missing?
But, we did open up that door to law enforcement before. When Sergeant Allen was making a big deal saying, well, we want to talk to her. When can we talk to her? And he's saying, well, the door's open.
What are you talking about?
she's just fucking making shit up right
Well,
now.
maybe not to you directly, but I know to Sergeant Allen, I was sitting there even one of the times that he spoke with him.
Lie.
So,
These are
Flat out
lies.
lie.
come out of his mouth,
This
even
is not how
myself,
any of this
directed
works.
to
Look
other
at her.
people.
She keeps going. I heard the
And maybe
words out of
didn't
his mouth.
Yes.
It's like,
Or took
For
it
in a
different
minute,
way.
she's going to tell you what kind of socks he was wearing. 'cause
That
that's how
looks like a
shushy
really-
he is.
Put people in
so that
opposite.
looks like a really great hole. Let me help you dig it a little better.
Everybody
Yeah.
has the same goal, is to
Here,
find
let me
people.
hose down the dirt so it's a little easier.
You think the matter could have been resolved a little differently?
No.
Absolutely, in a lot of different aspects.
Okay, let
Oh,
me just
yes.
stop you
The
right here.
conversation that I had with-
Listen, Casey, your daughter, when you called the popo, when your mom called the police, because let's not forget that call, okay?
Hi,
Which
guys,
is-
chick.
When she said, "Hey, Cass chick, it smells like something's wrong. My daughter, I just found my daughter's car and it smells like there's been a dead body in it." Remember that call? We all remember
Yes.
that call.
Uh-huh.
But what's more important, and I think the thing that gets forgotten in that call is the first call, Cindy. The call when you wanted to have your daughter arrested for stealing the automobile. Remember that? And the checks. Remember that? Remember that? And you can hear Casey in the background saying something or other, and she's like, "No, you're not. I'm not giving you not one more day, not one more minute. I'm calling."
Oh,
Popo."
yeah, she's at the apartment. Uh-huh, I
Yeah,
remember.
I'm at the Popos, right? She's done. They're coming out to the house. Then she calls back. The third call is the escalation call. That's the call where, and they're not like 5 or 10 minutes. They're a little bit apart. Number one, okay. So at that point, Kaylee had already been missing for 31 days. Then you have the unmitigated gall to march these officers all over Hell's Half Acre, over to the apartment complex, to Universal. You write down this huge statement saying that you've done all this looking at popular restaurants, bars, the mall. But
Just like the documentary.
Right. Exactly. Well, that's where I got it.
Well, I mean, she did the exact same thing with the documentary cruise.
She
did with
did.
the cops.
She-
They went on a drive around. They went all over the fucking place.
They went on a tour, a highlight tour of all of Casey's favorite haunts: Universal, the jail,
The apartment
They-
complex,
the apartment
where Zanny lives.
complex, the
Every craziest
Everglades,
moment.
the Everglades.
The booty shaking contest. They went to all the places.
Oh, she looked at Blockbuster too. Now, see, that can't be okay. I was going to feel like she only did a half-assed job until Corky reminded me that she looked at the Blockbuster, because that's where all 3-year-olds hang out, is at the Blockbuster. Jesus, piece of shit, bitch. Here we go.
Not only with my attorney, but
Stop using big words, Casey. They make you
So,
sound
I
stupid.
mean, we all still feel.
Who
I,
is
as a
we
mom,
all?
I know in my gut, there's the feeling as a parent, you know certain things about your child, you can feel that
You
connection.
are a piece of trash.
And
You're lying out of your
I still
ass
have
right
that
now.
feeling, that presence. I know that she's alive.
Oh, you do?
You're a
Whether
fucking retard. You're
you
such a
have
dumbass.
Hey.
a bucket load of evidence downstairs that contradicts that and says otherwise, or all you have is speculation, or nothing at all. I mean, whatever it is, if there's still that chance with all of these tips that have come through.
This is the
it's been
wordiest word salad ever, and it's gross. It doesn't even have
I know
like
that
good
a lot have been
that
discredited,
like
but
let me just stop her.
Let the girl explain her qualifications, Jen.
All right. Let's hear it, Casey. I'm dying to know.
Every week
Say
following up.
directly.
Yeah.
That we have more than speculation. We have a lot, or else we wouldn't be to this point.
Mhm.
A lot.
She's trying to figure out. She thinks she's playing him.
Well, I said the same thing to them, that, they said that we're at the end of a hallway, and I'm thinking we're at the end of a hallway and there's 2 doors. Which door are we going to go through? Or I guess this is, we're at this point.
One
And
opened to the air and she could jump off the
final
building
step
and
is
get
which
to the
door.
car.
Right, and the other was to an office that you don't even belong to.
I'm gone, okay? And when we refer to, we're at the end of the hallway, I think you were well aware of what hallway we're talking about. You understand that?
Well, so there's.
I
no
thought you
question,
wanted
I
to go
guess.
down the hallway.
There's
What
no
hallway?
question At this point.
I've been in a lot of hallways. Be more specific. What hallway are you
Your
talking
perspective
about?
is on that.
You have a second?
Absolutely.
What?
Can you come right back?
Yeah, that's fine.
You plan on running off?
I'm not going anywhere.
I gotta stretch out a little bit.
Oh, I love it here. I'm chilling. Where's my sandwich? They're sure taking a long time. My salad.
I like my dressing on the side. I don't want to blow
I'm
up.
perfectly fine. I
No,
don't
just
drink
wanna ask you.
sodas, so.
Shall we
I'm
share
okay.
it?
We can,
I don't
Two
drink
straws or
sodas.
sure.
We'll be
Absolutely.
right back.
And
If
then
you want
we'll
that or
find-
not, because if you don't,
No,
your mom probably has one.
She probably has one, but I'm not gonna be with my mom probably, so.
I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be with your mom when you leave here.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
You're not misleading me at all, which is
Once your
why,
mom runs me off the road on the way out of here, then you may share a car trip down
that's
there.
why I told my mom to go home and not to come here. She wanted to come here. So,
Oh,
I
She
mean,
knew you were coming here eventually.
I was the one that was telling her that I was coming here eventually, just from the
And
way
you had
it
enough
seemed.
perception to turn the flashers on, right? That's. I
Enough
thought.
perception.
They only
It's called
run
She
the
didn't
driver's
know how to
ed.
put her flashers on.
It was crazy.
It's
out
right
there.
in the center part of the,
I've been in a
dash.
lot of vehicle takedowns. That was similar to one. It was ridiculous.
they like
Oh.
look around a
She
little bit and help
she
the
tried to
cop
run
cars behind her
away.
so they wouldn't-
She's explaining why it happened. My mom thought it was raining. Those were supposed to be the wipers. No, I didn't. I wasn't trying to get away.
No, I couldn't. I didn't have a wiper. Well, I didn't have any wiper fluid in my wipers. It's bad.
I
bad
thought
news
you guys
bears.
must. I thought you guys had an emergency. I was trying to get you there faster. I was
What the hell is
escorting
she
you.
doing? Oh my god.
She's gonna puff her boobs up in a second. I bet you she does that.
Her
grab thing.
underwear is up her butt because her shirt's tucked in.
There we go.
You all you ladies
right.
in the audience know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't wear the right chones with the tuck-in shirt, it's bad news bears.
Did
And
she
you're
really tell them
uncomfortable
about her
all day.
haircut?
She did.
Like the guy said, like, "Oh, you cut your hair" or something just like that, and so She thought he wanted an explanation.
Right, like,
Who
and you see
cares?
how she's fluffing it around. I mean, what, Casey? It's not like you have like Rapunzel like length hair. I mean, you've got that lob. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's not even. You don't even have highlights. It's not all that fancy. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to skip forward because I can't take this Casey
Mhm.
adjusting herself repeatedly. Let's see.
What is this? Who is this Giuseppe for this person in the chat?
I don't know. Hold on. I can't look at both at the same time. Hold on. What are they saying?
I don't know, some weird stuff.
Oh. Bruh. When did they come back?
Like she's just like chilling. Oh, they come back in with the attorney. They left her there for a half an hour.
They left.
Watch when the attorney comes in though.
All right. Here we go.
Okay, and I read you that form. Basically, just the same thing I said to Mr. Baez over the phone. There's been numerous requests for opportunities to speak with us and come to a resolution here. And that's why we brought you here instead of the jail, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now, based on your request for us to call him and bring him here, he's here. So what we're gonna try to do is give you a few minutes somewhere that's not recorded. No secrets, I told you. This room's recorded. I have to be able to approach my chain and explain why. But first, I needed you to tell him, in your own words, if you will, that you'd like to take the opportunity to deal with us like you've made that request in the past. So, is that something you want to tell him?
I told him the same thing we talked about before, that we would entertain any questions that they have.
Entertain any questions. Like, this is a presser.
Discuss it, and if
Like she's
we have
trying to
something
just explain to
respond,
him.
we'll respond.
Yes.
Okay, do you want to speak to me in private?
Yes.
So we can clarify this.
Yes.
Let me get
I
your
room to go let you out. Just
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna stand up for a second. I've been sitting for an hour. Thank you.
No, stay here.
No,
No,
no.
let her out.
We're not going anywhere.
Look at her. Look at this. She's so dumb.
What? I told you. Our chonies are.
She's gonna adjust her boobs.
Yeah. I wish I would have worn my good bra.
Where's my bracelets?
Check them with them. I don't think she's. I don't. Closed captioning. I don't think she said God. I think it was just a sigh. I love it though that they all ambushed her and confronted her. Now tell him what you told us. And she's like, well, I said that we would entertain the possibility of speaking with them.
What are they
Jose's
out there in
like-
the hallway talking about? Like he's like, I don't know, guys.
Jose's
Let me
like,
just-
man, this bitch is crazy. She's a fucking liar. You see what I'm working with, but I can't let you talk to her. Come on, Baez. You know that's what you think. That's who I really want to talk to, but he can't say anything until. Well, she could release him from the attorney-client privilege, but the only thing that other way that he could talk was if I see what you're saying about that comment. Like, bro, look, this ain't the place for that. All right. Like, we can kick it and we can joke, but come on, don't make it weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, don't make it weird.
I know. Did he not respond to their request, to Peacock's request for an interview?
He
Jose
can't talk.
Baez?
He
Well,
can't
he's
talk
done
even if
interviews
they
before.
Yeah, about who? Aaron Hernandez. And why can he talk about Aaron Hernandez?
No, about Casey. I think he was talking to like Megan Kelly.
Did he? I don't remember him talking
did.
about her.
Yeah, he talked to Megan Kelly about it, and she was like, "Well, why would you say that? This and this and this." And he was like, "Listen, I don't have to prove that she didn't kill Kaylee. I just have to prove there was holes in the prosecution's theory." And it was just like this really weird, like aggressive.
I mean, he's
like,
not
thing.
wrong, but he did. I'm curious. I would like to actually talk to him. I mean, look, here's the deal. As an attorney, and I understand it, and I actually do respect it. I do respect our justice system. As a defense attorney, he takes an oath, okay, and that is to provide his client with the very best defense, and he did exactly what his oath says he has to do, and he's right. It is not his job to prove Casey didn't do it. It's the state's job to prove that she did, and so I can understand, but it's his job. You know what I mean? Baez does not strike me as it pertains to Casey as a man who was knowingly defending an innocent person. Do you know what I mean? Like I've seen attorneys who really 100% believe that their clients are innocent in the way they behave.
Oh yeah, he's like he seems really greasy to me.
He seems like he was going to do what he was hired to do. The end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to discuss that with her?
She knows.
Okay.
Oh, she
I'll
knows?
just go ahead and state for the record that she's invoking her right to counsel, and at this time wishes to request to go to the jail and be processed.
And we agreed upon that at 4:22 in the afternoon already.
Yes.
That's why we called it. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
You have any?
Ow!
No
Okay,
questions.
super. We'll be right with you.
What is that? Is that you?
Take you.
Remember,
No,
What the hell is that?
why did you wait so many years?
it's not
Yeah, we'll
me.
put him, I'll tell you what.
Well, that's weird.
Was it on the video?
Not
That's
me.
weird.
It must be on the video.
Maybe it was on the video, like they were clapping. She's going to jail now.
And this didn't work.
She thought she was going to lunch. And
She
then
did.
Jose came in here. Now she's going to jail and she's pissed. She's going to yell at him about it later.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Casey. I'm trying to.
Can I get my
don't know
Pepsi
if your
now?
attorney advise you of this or not, but you're not going to do a walkthrough, ma'am.
Need that.
You're going to sit.
In the radio.
Where did those weird glasses just come
Okay.
from?
Well, let's head out.
She really she came ready for this job interview.
Where's the hanger come from? They just totally left the weapon.
She
In the
even brought the
interrogation
props.
room.
She brought the props
Lord
for the interview.
Jesus. Oh, what
Those
am
are
I doing? Stop sharing.
Those are her innocent glasses.
Oh yeah, those are. I didn't do it. Are you ready to watch? Okay, so now what do we have, Christine? Tell the audience what they've won.
So I have her first like visit with her parents after she's in jail, I think. After she goes and gets processed, and then her parents very nicely come to visit her in the jail. And she acts she's mad they woke her up.
How am I not seeing these?
What?
Sorry, I'm not seeing the member milestones.
I see him.
I
Amelia,
don't see
Mo.
anything. Well,
Are
because
you
I'm
looking
on
at the StreamYard chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like StreamYard. Sorry, you guys. Let me come in the regular chat because I don't want you guys. Like, I don't ignore that stuff usually. You know, I'm not like that. Welcome to, look at Amelia, 9 months. Momo for 12 months. Alex for 8. Nadine for 2. Tony for 9. Cats for 10. Holy Hannah.
I remember when I first subscribed to you or joined, and I didn't know it was like I was new to YouTube. Like I was like new to like I don't know if it was like one of my first like memberships or what, but I didn't know it was gonna like throw it up on the screen like that. I was so
Aw.
embarrassed.
Why? Really? Because you don't want to claim me? Is that what that's about, Christine G? That's me?
No,
Is that what it is?
I
No.
just didn't. I was shut up.
You don't want people to know how much you really love me?
Everybody knows.
I know. Oh, thank you, Amelia. I'm not seeing nothing. And Sam sent me something too. Well, let me add this to the stream. All right, here we go. Now, you're completely in control of all of this, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Billy. I appreciate that, babe.
I think the video is not much to see. This is literally what it looks like for me too. So it's it's the jail call. So
Dear
does that sound
Orange,
okay?
I can't hear it.
Hold on. They haven't talked yet.
Well, you're asking me if it sounds okay before they talked. How the hell am I supposed to answer? That's a tramp.
Did you hear her?
No.
You can't hear it at all?
No.
Huh.
Do you have the share audio button checked?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sharing my audio right now. See? Maybe I have to mute my own self.
No, you don't. You have to make sure the audio, when you share screen, when you do the present and you decide to share a tab or a window or whatever it is that you're sharing, there's a box at the bottom. And it used to be automatically checked, and now you have to go back and check it every time. It's really annoying.
I don't even see that option.
All right, here we go. Let me add it to the screen.
Oh, I know it. I know why it is. Okay, duh. Because hold on one second. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I was talking with one of the doctors.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I had my Bluetooth in. I was listening to it in my Bluetooth, but you don't have my Bluetooth.
No, I don't have your Bluetooth, babe.
Hold on. Can we turn the volume down? Yeah, you can probably hear it. My head's gonna explode.
Oh.
Bitch is already making requests. Do you know where you are?
Don't worry. It is kind of loud. Yeah, okay.
It's just jail. Move the phone away from your face.
Is that better?
You're not even supposed to have it up against your face. You know how many people have had that up against their faces and what their hygiene may or may not be? Hello.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm doing just great. I'm locked up, indicted for murder. I'm fan-fucking-tastic.
Last minute, but we at least got a chance to cover a lot of stuff in our hour, so it's good. What's that T-shirt? I didn't get a chance to ask him, other things. Kaylee's picture's on the back. Is it? Can Dad show me the shirt?
God, she's such a brat.
It's the
What the frack?
I can see part of it, yeah. Have you seen me? And then it has
She hates
information on how to contact. Okay.
It looks tacky.
Did she lose her ability to read while she was in jail, Cindy?
She doesn't like that tacky shirt.
Can she call it tacky? Please. She does make a face. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
she does make
she doesn't
a face.
like it.
Whole United States is looking for Kaylee. I know
Good.
that, Mom. Her cover's going to be on People magazine in a few days. Okay.
Her cover?
Is
I
looking
mean, she's going to be on the cover?
Good. Everybody is looking for her. Are we going to be able to find her, do you think? I hope we can, Mom. Now, I didn't get a chance to ask Lee. Can you look up a little bit more? Raise your eyes up a little bit.
What the fuck?
Look me in the eyes.
Look straight up so I can look into your eyes.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Hold on a minute. Push pause. Please. Now, this isn't, I forgot about this part. See, when time goes by, my data overwrites. I only have so much room in my compartments upstairs, and no new data ever overwrites like my music lyrics or movie quotes. No. Those are permanent files, right? But I've forgotten some of this stuff. And I think it's interesting what she asks her to do there, because as a Florida citizen, and I'm sure aware that these jail calls will be released. It's just interesting to me.
According to her previous interrogation interview, she's going to be real surprised when this is released.
You know what's funny to me is it seems like she's trying to coach her, like on her angles.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
She's got something in her eye.
I think she just poked herself in the eye to make herself cry, to look like she actually has real feelings, but she doesn't. Don't be fooled, you guys.
We've all been crying. Casey, I want to ask you just a couple questions.
Mom, I'm in jail where the phone calls are recorded. Ask away.
Ask the good ones.
I know the pictures with Kaylee in Zanny's apartment. Is Zanny's apartment the ones with the drums? She had a drum set, yes. The one in the picture. I think there were even other pictures. I told Lee to look through everything. Okay, is that Zanny's apartment? Because I know who's.
How much Zanny are you on in this call, Cindy? You're very sedated.
It's set up a lot like Zanny's apartment.
She's like, is that her apartment? Because it looks just like Ricky's.
Any pictures of
Well, you know how apartments are, Mom. They're all kind of the same. I mean, all one bedrooms, one baths are pretty much designed. It's just how you make it your own that
Casey, look at me.
changes.
Casey, look at me. Is it the one with the laundry room?
Casey,
Yes.
Casey, look
Yes,
at me.
Mom. Yes, Mom.
on the desk at home? I don't know. What is your? I can't get into your. I gave Lee everything already. I gave Lee all of.
Oh,
Not
she's
going
over
over
here
again.
like a full-on Wagner family. I need your passwords, your social security number, your birth certificate.
The clip with Grandpa is really helping people. Still pictures don't show. No, they don't show her personality. Right, and we need to show her personality. So I need to make sure we get that password. Yeah, I gave Lee the password. Please look up, sweetheart. I need to see your eyes. I want to be able to look at you guys too. I can't look at you and look at the camera. Well, you don't have to look at the camera. Look at me. I'm looking at you. Okay. You're sitting very low. I know. Your head's about this much in the TV.
Lie.
Oh my God.
Danny's acting by herself, or does she have help?
Who?
I don't know, Mom. I haven't been able to talk to anybody. I don't know.
Oh, Zanny, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Zanny.
Involved. There's as many people that are.
Her mom is a good interrogator.
Something is possible. But Mom, I have nothing to go off of at the moment. I don't know. Okay.
Huh?
I don't know. Jose and I go over this every time we talk, and things that lead
Interesting.
to I'm extremely aggravated about because I haven't gotten a single letter.
From who? Who's writing you letters? What are you, Steve?
It's gotten back to me.
Her fan mail.
I've only given him my letter. I don't think I've given him Annie's letter yet. Well, I got 2 letters that were sent directly to the jail, but nothing that's been given to him has been given to me. Well, he can't hand anything to you. Did you read anything in my writing? I read the one little note, yes, but Lee said that he's written letters and he's written other stuff. Okay, well,
Nobody's writing to you.
that I wrote. He did show me. Get it. Okay, that's.
They're writing a ton of shit on poster boards out in front of your parents' house right about now, Casey, if you want to read that stuff.
Nobody's writing. Everybody's lying to her saying that they're writing, and
Nobody's writing.
she thinks that it's
Nobody.
true.
How's it feel to be on the receiving end of lies, Casey?
You want to have questions for him? I have a lot of questions, and I'm going to ask you something that he told me. I guess there was a lady that came forward on the news. Her and her son were at the airport. Said that they saw Kaylee, spoke to Kaylee. Right, and she said her name was Kaylee Marie Anthony. Do you have any more information on that?
Okay, Diane Downs.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again,
What was their hair like?
Sheriff's Department's telling us they're fully investigating that. Well, I want someone outside of the Sheriff's Department looking into these things. I mean,
Oh,
Spend your money on more things.
I want you guys.
you do, Miss Fancy Pants. Okay, that's what you want.
We request those videotapes from the Orlando airport.
Well, I want the ass I had when I was 21. So good luck.
Okay. Have you spoken to her yourself? Oh, she contacted me. She calls me every day, 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh.
Okay, good. Well, that's what I wanted to know. I don't want just one person running errands for me, someone that I have no contact with.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
Sound like a potential place to look. Look in Charlotte. I know Zanny's had.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Mhm.
And definitely Miami. Definitely Miami. And New York. Do you know is her mother's name Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez as well? Her mother's Gloria.
Gloria.
Is her mother, what age is her mother? She
Between
older?
yours and she's between your age and Dad's age, so she's in
About
her 50s.
55?
Roughly, yes.
Have you ever heard her sister's name? Not
Oh,
Annie's sister.
hold
her
on a
mom's.
second. That's the first time that I considered that Casey was trying to say Zenaida was, like youngish. Like maybe I always imagined Zenaida being like a grandmotherly type, but that made it sound like she thought Zenaida was old enough that Zenaida's mother would be 55. So she was trying to say it was somebody like younger.
Annie's
She
name.
has trouble with math, honey. Remember that.
Oh.
And the truth. Math and the truth,
Oh, right.
not her
Okay.
strong suits.
Okay.
But she does. It's weird because at first she does say that she's like older. And now
Yeah,
she's
I
got her
imagine like
kind of
a
young.
grandmother.
Yeah.
Hmm.
In my
If I was Zenaida and if I was under 30, I would beat her ass for that.
You know what? I'm curious. I don't remember what the outcome was, but
She sued her.
That's what I thought. But did she win? What did she get? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
They're staying with, but it's a possibility.
Does
All I know is-
Josephina sound familiar to you?
Who?
Josephina.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Oh man.
Does Josephina sound familiar to you? Hey, Christine, does Josephina sound familiar to you?
No.
Isn't it weird the way that Cindy asks the questions? If it were me, you've got a daughter. We both have daughters, right? That's not how I talk to my
Asking
kid.
the-
I would be like this. I would be like, do you know somebody named Josephina? Does she go by Josie? I mean, I would be naming all of the nicknames. I mean,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? But he's all, does Josephina sound familiar to you? Like, this is why I don't understand why Cindy bought this malarkey in the first place. Because when somebody kidnaps a child, usually it's they either want to keep the child forever, right? Or there's some type of blackmail situation, ransom. And when Casey was searching for these this is why the story just as a human being. Now look, I love my kids. I would do anything in the world for them. Okay. But in the privacy of our own home, I wouldn't be acting the fool like this on a jail call and asking questions, but I would have done it. There's no way there would be 31 days. I've never, in the whole time that my granddaughter has been on this earth,
Never.
I have never gone 31 days without seeing her or talking to her, ever.
No.
I felt guilty because I went a week without video calling her.
I totally agree. Yeah, I would never get there.
Right. So what happened?
Mm.
And I think I have to be honest. I think that on some level that the jury was kind of buying Casey's version of events, because let's be honest, the family dynamics in this household, and look, there is no such thing as a perfect family. We all have dysfunction. Everybody does on some level. But their level of dysfunction, they all lie to each other. That's what I can't, not one of those, except for the brother. I don't know anything about the brother. I've never saw any of the interaction. You know what I'm saying? Yes, DC. It's like when Jan Brady makes up her fake boyfriend. It's George Glass. Yeah. It's weird. They all lie to each other. It's the weirdest shit I've ever seen.
I have to take a potty break, so do you want me to just push play and go?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I want you to hold it. There's no potty breaks in hell. What's wrong with you?
Over. I don't know if they'll allow us or not. Are they? Okay, that's what he said. Okay. Okay. All right. Do you want to speak to your father now?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, gorgeous, how you doing?
I look like hell.
Well, you know something? You really need to keep your spirit high for all this.
I haven't been crying while I've been in here.
Well, you know
Trying to
something?
read books and do other things to keep my mind off of stuff.
Oh,
Well,
like what? Reading books, couponing, macrame.
The big Papa Joe hug. But you know, we got to get that little girl back any way we can, and we're doing everything we can.
My only concern. I gave Lee a statement.
I'm
I
back.
want him to speak to whoever in
Well,
the
that was
media,
quick.
Yeah, I
specifically
ran.
from me. Who's going to give them an
Well, you
exact
didn't have to. It's
She is my only concern. Next to Kaylee, it's you guys.
all right. Now I gotta go have a sip, but I'll be in the chat.
Can I ask you something?
You gonna be okay?
Yeah.
If I got a sec, all right. I'll be right back. You know I smoke quick. BRB.
It's been mostly just local.
It's been local. It's all been local. The last time I was in Jacksonville was in March. I haven't left the city.
Well, you know,
Sorry,
everyone is
I'm
doing.
going to Cocoa Beach one time back in maybe May. I know everyone's looking.
This part, what he's about to start saying, like gets to my nerves so bad because he's like trying to like, oh God, it's like brown nosing her or something, like to keep her like calm or happy or something. It's weird.
Yep.
Getting updates from Jose or from an occasional officer in here will give me just a little bit of the media that they've stomached watching.
Well, have you had a chance to read a paper or see the news?
I'm staying away from the TVs. They don't even have the TV on in here for news purposes. I haven't seen the paper or anything like that.
Okay, Juan wants to talk to you in a second.
Listen, I'm in front of the cameras all the time. What message do you want me to give to Zanny and to Kaylee? What do you want me to tell Zanny?
That she needs to return Kaylee.
This is like Megan Boswell.
Mom, I don't know.
Okay.
Like when Megan Boswell was standing there, like, I know who has her.
My only concern is that Kaylee comes back to us and she's smiling and she's happy and that she's okay.
Okay. What do you want me to tell Kaylee?
That Mommy loves her very much. And she's the most important thing in this entire world to me.
Oh my God.
And to be brave.
Hold on.
This is the kind of acting she does on the documentary. Just like this. Her mom's writing it down. She couldn't. That was too much for her. Sorry.
Anything else?
Just that I love her. I truly, truly love that little girl and miss her so much.
Hold on, go slower, Casey. I'm trying to write this down.
God, and I miss you guys.
I know, honey, we miss you too.
Wait, what was that last part?
Priority list. We went through things, and I know Kaylee's at the top of everybody's priority list. I'm the last on mine right now.
I know you are. I know you're the last on your list.
I'll sit here as long as I have to. I don't care.
Are you protecting Kaylee? Are you protecting me? Are you protecting who? I know you're protecting.
Lee and I have made an agreement. I'm going to start writing letters. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to write individual letters to each of you. Send them through the mail, through the jail mail.
I don't want to wait through the mail, darling.
They read that too.
I'm protecting our family, yes.
No, they read that too, Casey. You don't know how it works yet?
Someone threatening us. Someone threatening us.
Hold on, let her think up her lie. Hold on.
Just leave it at that, please. For right now, just leave it at that.
Okay. I trust you.
Why?
Just know that you don't have to protect this family. This family is tough. We've been through a lot in the last week and a half.
Letters from Cindy.
We've lost it a few times, but we are stronger now than we've ever been. So don't try to protect Dad or me or Lee.
I know.
We have to protect Kaylee. So don't protect us. We have to protect Kaylee.
I know.
Well, then there's nothing to protect us for. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
This is getting really hard to cry. Let me talk to Dad again.
Good. How come she never got a chance to get the car? Doesn't make sense. Because this is recorded, and I don't know who's gonna see things.
I'm right here, and I have a rant. Can we pause?
Whatever. Like I said, there's things that
Okay. First of all, I don't remember who said it in the chat, but it's very astute, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. There's coaching going on. Sit up straight. You don't look good when you cry. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. First of all, okay, she's not on the Today Show. She's not on Good Morning America. She's in jail, Cindy. Okay, that's where she's at. Now, is this after the first arrest? Yeah, it has to be. This is before she was indicted, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Week and a half they've been going. I trust you. There's a lot of weird language in this whole thing. And then she says, are we being threatened? Ma'am, has the people out in front of your house with the signs that read baby killer escaped you? Did you just miss those? I mean, because there's a ton of video.
No, they were out there. These people remind me of, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but these people remind me of
fine.
everybody, like laundry parents, chasing people back off their yard and stuff.
You know what? I feel like the laundries didn't do shit. They stayed in the house, remember?
No, but they'd go out there and like trash all the signs at night and stuff. And
oh yeah, that's true. They did do that. That is true. But George would go out there and confront him, and one time he turned the hose on him. Which, to be fair, I would have unleashed the 7 plagues of Egypt, one each day, but that's just me. But this is what I find weird about this whole thing. George is former law enforcement not from Florida though, from Ohio, but it's not that different place to place. I mean, our laws are all pretty much the same. The language may be a little bit different, but jail is jail. Okay. And it's just weird to me the way that they're all behaving. The family dynamics are so dysfunctional. I can't, every time I watch it, I'm just shocked. And I've seen it 11 billion times.
it seems like they like tried, they tiptoe around her to like not get her to fly off the handle, you know? Like they don't want to upset her enough to get to what's the word? To like make her look guilty, but they want her to like answer questions too.
Yes. But what's weird about it is when she talks about protecting. Now, I promise you, this is a part where Casey points to later on and says, this is what I was trying to say. Oh, whatever, Casey. But I actually think what Casey was really trying to say is, don't worry. I'm not going to be leaking it to the media about all of the family troubles, i.e. Dad's gambling and, lying about going to work when he wasn't actually working and taking out a loan against
all of
the house.
Our dads did that, and we didn't kill. That's like, so what? Like, dads did that. We all did that.
I mean, look, the way I grew up, we did have family business, right? And mainly it was like arguments that we had inside the house. You just didn't talk about that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you right now, if my dad, whenever I saw Meet the Parents and here comes Robert De Niro talking about the circle of trust, that is my dad. Okay? In every way.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if I were in this predicament, right, my dad would be like, I don't give a shit what you tell them. Mention it all. If it helps, fine. One of the, God forbid, one of my kids was missing, one of his grandkids was missing, he would go rat himself out. Mm-hmm. He would be like, you know what? Yeah. Back in the 80s when I was a paramedic, did I do a little sugar booger? Yeah, a couple of times I did. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. When, that's the kind of secrets I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It was the 80s. Everybody's parents did a little bit, okay? Did I smoke before I had kids and, it was the summer of love? Did I get high? Hell yeah, I got high. My wife and I both got high. We got high a lot. It was the 70s. but my parents were good parents. They raised us, they provided for us. But I'm telling you right now, this is the weirdest, most fucked up family dynamics I have ever seen in my life. And I cover true crime. Okay.
I just think they're like scared of her, that she's caused so much havoc in their home that they have like PTSD from her, that they can't.
Exactly. It's like when you live with a person who flies off the handle.
Yes.
And they're very confrontational, and you sort of tiptoe around them because you just don't. It's just a hassle. Yeah. It's not that you're scared of them like that, but you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
There were times when my mom was like that. My mom, of everybody in the household, my mom was the one that would be just like, she was a yeller, and but God bless her. You know, my sister and I did shit. Don't get me wrong. Like, we used to poke our mom. Don't get me. We used to mess with her a lot. Okay, like we would get her to say stuff. Like, she could never ever say Nintendo. She would always say Nintendo. And my sister and I would just make fun of her for it all the time. And my dad would come home from work. I'll never forget this, when my mom was going through the change or whatever. And he would be like, God damn, Kathleen, I come home and every fucking fan in the house is on takeoff speed. Like, it was shit like that. Okay. That was our dysfunction. This is something different. Like, Casey is the one that you're just like, you don't want to piss off because you'll never hear the end of it. She's not going to like vent, get it off her chest and be done. And I used to make fun of my mom so much. I'd be like, Mom, the N is literally right there. In fact, it's bigger than the I. How are you missing it?
You know, I used to know somebody like this. Like, I used to have a friendship with a person like this that just lied about everything. And it was really weird because like I knew like the real her. And so it would really irritate me when we'd be around anybody else, like besides like just her family, because she would put on this like fake persona and like it was like a different voice, and it just bothered me. And I was just like, like, people would like you just being your own actual self. You don't have to like pretend like this, you know? And she would get mad at me. We would argue, and she was very manipulative. It was a very toxic friendship. And finally, after years of therapy, I stopped that friendship. But I remember like the reason that like it was because she was fun. Like, fun things would happen with her. Like, she was spontaneous. It was fun, and it was very manipulative. Like, where like if something went bad or wrong, it wasn't her fault, and there was this and that reason, and it was a lot of her lies that I would just like go along with just to like not embarrass my own self also, you know, that she'd involved me in. And it was just, I remember, but besides her just being a lot of fun, it was also a lot of drama, like the biggest dramas. Like, it was never just very middle ground with her. It was always either really fun or a ton of drama. And it's so yucky. Casey reminds me of her a lot. Okay.
Yeah, Casey just lies to lie about stuff there's no reason to lie about. Stupid shit.
Yeah.
Good night, Kes Chick. Thanks for coming, babe.
Bye, guys.
Has someone else been in our house?
What?
Possibly.
What?
I told you
What?
She had a key.
She had a key. She might have been in there searching the computer. I don't know.
I was working at Universal. A busy, busy girl. I can't know all the things. I can't be responsible for knowing all the comings and goings of the nanny that I hired.
How's the rest of the family?
Nobody.
They hate you. Your grandmother's thinking of prosecuting you. Remember that shit you stole from her out of the old folks' home? Yeah.
I did talk to her.
Uh-huh.
She's not doing well at all.
Yeah, because you stole from her.
Everybody sends their love. Everybody loves you.
Everybody but Grandma. Because she's pissed.
We need to address Tony's comment.
What did Tony say?
What? chat.
Dysfunction, apparently. That I can't, and that's a hilarious comment, but I can't even highlight it because YouTube is no fun.
Oh my god. Because they had disabling it.
Oh my god.
There's 1,000,001 uses for duct tape. Okay, let's go.
And nothing to Kaylee.
I would have never thought of that use, but now yeah.
Let everybody
I just realized
What
I
happened?
spelled dysfunction wrong. I don't know.
What's the noise?
I don't know. I'm not running the show. Hey, Heather, whatever.
Sorry.
When did you sneak in here, babe?
My bad.
just try to keep talking to the media, I guess. Keep things positive. Keep it focused on Kaylee.
Okay, stop her right there.
I was laughing so hard that it shook the table and my AirPods thought they were in my ear again.
Okay. So, Nadine wants you to bring the noise.
Hey, Heather, whatever.
Nadine apparently likes that song from Public Enemy and Anthrax together. That's the name of the song, Bring the Noise. Anyway, this is what's funny to me is that Casey actually seems to resent the media attention. But here she is. Talk to the media. Talk to the
She's
media.
jealous.
She is
Like,
jealous.
She's probably jealous of Kaylee. Like, oh, and they said that too, that she was jealous of like the relationship that her mom had with Kaylee and stuff. Like, she seems jealous when she's like, yeah, that's where I want the media to be focused on Kaylee. But meanwhile, she's like, nobody's paying attention to me.
Right. Me. That's why she's inventing threats and all that shit. Okay. I'm following you.
Okay.
That needs to be the main focus.
Is there anything else that you want to say directly to me at all?
Like, you're sorry.
I find this interesting.
Just that I wish that none of this would have ever happened.
His face.
I wish that none of this would have ever happened.
We all feel that way, and I know we're all just given a lot right now, and we have to keep on being strong and knowing that we got to bring Kaylee home, and
I need to make this bigger so we can see George's face.
we know where you're at. I don't want to see you here. I don't want you here.
Yeah, but in some
Imagine
ways, I
the
almost
grandfather
feel
Oompa
more protected
Loompa.
here than if I were alone.
Well, I guess there's some truth in that, but you know, once we get that little girl home, which I hope is today, you know, that stuff with you, it's not going to be.
Look at Cindy's face.
Have you out also, and
I think she's jealous that she can't hear on the phone.
With me, we'll deal with.
Why would she have something to only say to you, George?
You made a good point. Getting Kaylee home is our priority.
Oh,
Everything else will fall into place after
that
that.
She
just
leaned in.
that just occurred to her.
Yeah. She leaned in.
Good point.
well, you gotta know that Mom and I worry about you being here.
I know, but I'm under protective custody. I'm in my own cell. I'm right across. I mean, I'm literally within 4 steps from where their little station is in here.
It's called jail.
That doesn't mean anything, Casey. Think
That's jail.
people drop things, officers get busy.
Wednesday night. Today's Friday. Wednesday.
Okay. Have you ever thought about even just reaching out to the guys at the sheriff's department, just talking to them?
The few times that I have, Dad, you've seen what's
This is how the fuck I ended up in here, was talking to the sheriff's department.
that I gave them.
They won't give me an interview yet. I'm still waiting to hear back.
So, in all honesty, as much as I'd like to at the moment,
Maybe I should email him.
be an in-person conversation. It won't be an over-the-phone conversation. It will be in writing. So there's no way of them twisting my words or saying that I didn't give them information.
Well, do you have access to a phone and stuff every day, or not?
No, there needs to be money put, I guess, in an account for me so I can make calls that have to be collect calls.
Nobody's putting money on
Now
our
you can
books.
call us. We'll accept the charge.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying I think there still has to be money in an account for me to be able to make any calls.
Oh, here she's lying.
This is a lie. It's not how it works. And George, you know this. Call her bluff, man.
Her dad is like, actually, I know how jail works. You can
I'm
just
a
call us.
former law enforcement officer. What the fuck?
She's trying to get some trading, some money. She wants some snacks.
She's got to buy ramen. Come on. You know that's a hot commodity in the jail.
You'll have to have somebody more information on that.
Well, talk to Mom 1 second.
It's so
You know
weird.
what's weird that I didn't realize,
Hmm.
or I have blocked it out? This is after her first arrest. She's already lawyered up.
Mm-hmm. She almost bankrupted them. I think eventually she did, but like they didn't have the money to be bailing her out and stuff.
Damn. I wonder why they didn't put the house up for collateral.
Because their daughter's is a whack job.
But you see what I'm saying? Don't you think
Never
that,
been
look,
more
if you,
peaceful in their house before.
they're probably like, we can all sleep with our eyes closed. We don't have to sleep in shifts.
I wouldn't put my house up for this.
I wouldn't put it up, but would you for your daughter who was innocent?
My daughter would never act like this.
Neither would mine. Neither one of them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, over the years, the youngest one is just now starting to, like, settle down, and we've a much closer, less all argumentative. Because let me just be honest with you, my youngest child talking to her is like talking to me, so she will find a loophole in every rule and there, I'm not even gonna lie, there's been like 3 times when she has had a rebuttal that I've been like, well, damn, that actually makes sense. It's like it's like arguing with myself, and I'm an excellent arguer, so it's very bad. But over this last year, it's gotten less and less and less. And but they pulled typical teenage girl stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I need this specific pair of jeans, not the one that you got me. This is all the way wrong. I wanted, this cut, and you got that cut. You know what I mean? Little things, things. And then there were guys that they dated that I was like, you're way too good for them. But I would keep my mouth shut because eventually they'd figure it out.
This what makes me think like about Casey that like, they spoiled her like Dawn Brooks spoiled her son, like that she thinks she can get away with this because they never like, which to me is like, okay, you're bad parents, but you don't not love your daughter, like you spoiled her so bad that she's ruined. She's a terrible person.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you didn't love her. You just didn't know what the hell you were doing. You shouldn't have had kids in the first place. That's different.
Right. Exactly.
She tries to say, it's like, because I couldn't raise a child that would act like Casey Anthony. Like, it was just not there's no.
It's not in my. I couldn't deal with I couldn't do it.
Children are shaped by like the way you raise them, and there's just no possibility that I would have a child. It's just not possible that I raised them the whole way up to 20 years old, and then they decided to be a whole different way. Like, it's just,
you're right.
I would never had this kid.
You're right, because Casey's personality would not do well in my household. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would never. I couldn't raise a human being to be entitled because I don't mesh well with entitled people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, if Casey was my kid and we were in the wild, I would have ate her at like 2 years old. Like, she would have made it. That's what happens in the wild.
That's right.
a mama bear will, if that bear cub is bothering her, that one's not going to make it.
It's fun. It's interesting you bring that up because in the wild you will see that, and you never. And there are times when they've caught it on film or whatever, and they're looking. They're looking at the bait cub, for example, right? And there doesn't seem to be anything physically wrong with that cub, and there's doesn't look any different than it size wise or anything than the other cubs. But the mom knows this one's fucked up.
Yeah, that one's not gonna do well. So
This one ain't built for this.
and sometimes I think about like my son because he's like you have no common sense, son. And then I decided that it's probably just a boy thing that he's
is.
like this, but it's like you have no sense of like danger as far as like
Mm-mm.
the grown up in the house goes because you will do things over and over and over and over and over that I like,
Boys have such an impulse control.
yes,
They reason it out. Like and I used to do this too, but I was much more cautious than my boys are. I would reason it out. Like sometimes the risk, whatever it was, the risk was worth it because it was going to be so much fucking fun, right? And I'd be like, I don't even care, you know? So I would just do it. But my boys, it wouldn't matter.
right.
They could have the worst time of their life doing whatever it was they were doing, and they would still do it anyway just to do it.
Like I've
It's
caught my
boys.
daughter's face
Good
being
night,
shocked
Amelia.
before because my son is doing something again. And like she is just like, oh my God, the audacity. Like like you are in literal danger from like,
What have
stop.
I said a million times, Christine? That boys' pants pockets are bigger because they got a lot of audacity to carry around. That's why.
Yeah. So
To carry around all that fucking
I was
audacity.
finally talking to somebody about it, like, oh my gosh, I think my son just doesn't have any common sense. And I was explaining like these things, but not just that, but like he'll like be running by a pool, he'll run right into the pool. Like he won't look where he's going, like just like things, and it's a boy thing. Because
It's
my
a
daughter
boy
was not
thing.
ever like that. My daughter was so sensible. She's very astute, very calm, like very well mannered and stuff. It's just a total boy thing that
The
like
girls will tell you that even though there's not like a lot of years between my youngest son and my oldest daughter, there's only like 2 years, right? There's 7 between my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter, but my oldest daughter will say, "You broke mom." By the time I came around, and that was just 2 years, you broke her. I don't know what you boys did to her, but she's broken.
because they give us PTSD.
They do crazy ass shit. I will never forget. One time, I came home from work and my husband was home and he had all the kids with him. And we lived in Waxahachie and he took them to Grand Prairie. They have Trader's Village. It's like a swap meet. Okay. Anyway, he bought my youngest son like one of those little dirt bikes, just a little whatever 300cc or just a small one, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's teaching him how to ride it. And we had this great big huge ass backyard in Waxahachie, and he was going across the yard, the widest part, right? Well, he hit the clutch and the gas and skipped second and went straight to third, and then forgot the brake, and he hit the fence. That kid bounced and rolled. And for a minute, my heart was in my throat, my stomach was in my butt. And then he got up and he was like, "I'm fine. I'm fine."
I know exactly what you mean.
Then one time he came home and he said to me, "Mom," I don't know, he's like 16 or something, 17 maybe. He said, "Mom, my ear is really hurting." And I was like, "Well, what's going on? Let me look at it." And he's like, "You can look at it, but don't get the bobby pin." Because I used to clean their ears with the bobby pin. My mom did it to us. I used to drag them over to the big kitchen window with the great light and clean their little ears. All right. But it had been years since I did that, like 10 years or more. Anyway, he said, "Don't get the bobby pin." And I was like, all right. And I looked and there didn't seem to be anything wrong. And he's like, "I'm just having a really hard time hearing." And I was like, "Well, what did you do?" "Well, I was cliff diving."
Oh my God.
And yeah. And I think, yeah. And that's what it was. And I was like, "Go away from me, please."
Right?
Well,
My son will do something, and like if he gets hurt doing something he knows I'm gonna say is dumb, he won't even tell me. He'll just go nurse his little elbow by himself.
do you know how many times I would open the front, there'd be a knock at the front door and I would open it and be one of the kids' friends, and they were carrying one of mainly my oldest son, my youngest son in. They'd be like, "Now, Jen, don't get mad." You're carrying him in. What do you mean, don't get mad? Well, we were at the skate park and we bet him that he couldn't do this, that, or the other trick. And he did it. And yeah, he landed it. But look, his ankle is like 17 sizes too big. Shit like that. But anytime a kid comes to you and says, Jen, don't get mad, or Mom, don't get mad, it's never good news. I don't know why they do that to me. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll hear my daughter say, "Are you okay?"
There have been times when I've been so shocked, I've been verklempt. I can't even speak because the thing that they just said to me was, I can't even believe that I heard it. That those words came in that order, came out of my kid's mouth, that they just told me what they did. And I just can't even imagine what could have been going through their brain that would have told them this is a good idea.
But on the flip side, boys are so resilient.
They are.
They are so unbreakable.
And
Not unbreakable, but they are. I mean, they just have like the gall and the
Yes.
audacity and
Yes.
the gumption. They have it all. Like, and
All
if
of
you're
it.
gonna have one, have it all. Have them all.
That's what I'm saying. And I will say this. Boys, well, for my boys, I can't speak for all boys, but the boys I know, my nephews are the same way. If I accidentally overcooked something, all of my boys would say, it's all right, Mom, or it's all right, Aunt Jen. You tried your best. The girls, we're not eating that. I don't, yeah. Mom, how many years have you been working a toaster? You don't know that 4 is too high?
And
Well,
they're
I
always
didn't put it on. I didn't
funny.
put it on 4, asshole. So,
My
did you
son will
use
eat
the
anything.
toaster?
We
Yeah,
have the same sons.
yeah. That's how my kids. My boys are like, it's okay, Mom. It wasn't that bad. That's what they'll tell me when they were younger, and I would be like trying out a new recipe. It wasn't that bad. My girls would be like, don't ever make that again. Don't ever talk about making that again. Don't ever think about making that again.
My son told me just tonight that the pizza's just crispy.
But my kids will all say, my mom makes the best refried beans. They'll tell their friends, my mom makes the best refried beans. Mm-hmm. Which I do, because my mom and my nana taught me how. But yeah, my mom makes the best refried beans. All right, let's go. Okay. Let's get over this bullshit.
You want me to tell Annie anything? Tony anything?
Tell Amy that I'm sorry.
What are you sorry for? Is that that's the girl you stole the checks
from?
from.
The checks, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell Ryan I appreciate all of his help. If you could ask him to come if he gets a chance to come in town. I don't know if he's going to be able to.
Oh my God.
Who wants to see you?
Why are you treating your mom like she's your secretary? Like you're on the set instead of in jail.
Remember the phone call with Christina, her friend Christina?
No, I've forgotten about that. I have to watch it. Is it online?
To come and see me.
It's just audio, but it's frustrating. It's more frustrating than this one. Go find it. Yeah, and it's shorter. This is like an hour long.
Yeah, we don't need an hour of this baloney.
But at the same time, my concern is you guys.
All right, let me look it up.
How about Jesse? He's been real close. Is there anything you want me to tell Jesse?
Oh, and Jesse is the guy that she let him think that Kaylee was his baby the whole pregnancy, and then when she was born, he got a paternity test, and oh God.
Right? I mean,
I would like Jesse to stay as far away from you guys as possible.
Why? What did he do to you, bitch? Do you know
what's her name? Christine, right? That's her name.
Christina, yeah.
Christina.
I don't know how much I trust him right now, and I even told Lee that.
Trust him? Why? Shut up. He didn't do anything to you.
I in my gut, I don't know if I can trust him.
Oh my God.
Well, I've been thinking that all along, but I've told the deputies my feelings.
Jose and I had a couple conversations about that. We've talked
about pinning it on him.
Different times, actually.
Oh God.
Yeah. So gross.
My knowledge.
She's disgusting.
No, but quite possibly.
Is George giving signals? What's he doing?
I don't know because I'm looking at this other.
He did a finger to his lips and then he pulled his ear twice.
Oh. Oh my God.
dad has been trying to reach out to your dad. His mom sent Lee an email and
Wait, what?
told us
Oh, I
What?
found it.
You found it? Wait, hold on. She said his dad's been trying to reach out to your dad, like George, her husband, right next to her.
What other dad would he be
I don't
reaching
know.
out
It just
to?
sounded weird. That
It's
came across
weird,
weird.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's like Cindy's doing the investigating
It sounds
herself.
like Cindy was a whore too, and
Oh my. All right, I found this call. Are you guys ready to hear this?
okay, yeah,
It's
let's
only
do it.
It's only 6 minutes. No,
Okay, yeah.
then we
that's-
should probably end it, don't you think? Oh,
yeah,
because
that
it's
one
a-
was long.
it's a school night.
It is.
And just while we're waiting for me to do this, I just want to let you guys know that I'm going to be live tomorrow night, not tomorrow morning, because I never can tell what the heck is going to happen in that Ortiz trial. And sometimes it's really boring, and I'm not going to make you guys sit there for hours and hours while they get their poop in a group. Okay. Sometimes it bees like that. All right, here we go. Oh, I got it.
This poor friend.
Right.
Sweetie.
She's
Well, I just saw your nice little cameo on TV.
which
What do you mean, which one?
Which one? I did 4 different ones, and I don't know. I haven't seen them all. I've only seen one.
This is the channel that this is from.
You don't know what my involvement is and stuff?
why'd you call her in the first place, Christina?
What?
No.
She's rude.
I don't know what your involvement is, sweetheart. You're not
Wait.
telling me where she's at.
Because I don't f***ing know where she's at. Are you kidding me?
God.
Casey, don't
Are you
waste your
paying for
call to
this?
No.
scream and holler at
Waste
me.
my call sitting
Don't
in
waste your call to
the
scream and
jail
holler at me.
Whose
in
fault
where
is
bunks are?
whose fault is you sitting in the jail? You're blaming me that you're sitting in the jail?
Not
Blame
my
yourself
fault.
for telling lies. You mean it's not your fault? What do you mean it's not your fault, sweetheart? If you'd have told them the truth and not lied about everything, they wouldn't.
Do me a favor, just tell me what Tony's number is. I don't want to talk to you right now. Forget
I
Wow.
don't have his number.
it. We'll get it from Lee because I know Lee's at the house. I saw Mallory's car was out
She's
front.
so rude.
Hello?
Hi, I'm glad everybody's at my house. I'll have to call you later. I'll have to call somebody to get your number. Do me a favor, get my brother back because
Oh my
I need
God.
Tony's number.
This woman is at her
Um,
parents' house.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm
She
sitting in
came
jail.
there.
There's nothing anybody can do right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, just trying to be.
Oh, I know you are, honey. I absolutely know that you are, and I appreciate everything that you're trying to do. But
Oh my
I'd
God.
like
This
to
is
call
super
Tony. He's not at
condescending.
my house, is he?
No,
Okay.
no, it's just
No,
me and
Tony's
your
not
parents.
there. He's with his new girlfriend.
Well, can you do
She
me a
just
favor
said.
and get my brother back or get the number from him, please?
Does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No. Nothing.
Why do you want to talk to him?
So why do you want to talk to Tony? You probably don't want to tell me, do you?
Huh?
This
You
is a
probably
good
don't want to
friend.
tell me, do you?
What do you? I didn't hear what you said.
I said, does Tony have anything to do with Kaylee?
No, Tony had nothing to do with Kaylee.
Oh, so why do you want to talk to him?
Focus.
Because
Christina.
Tell me.
he's my boyfriend, and I want to actually try to sit and talk to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to him earlier because I got arrested on
Where's your daughter?
Right.
because they're blaming me for stuff that I never would do, that I didn't do.
Okay. Well, I'm on your side. You know that,
Oh,
right?
I'm on
I know
nobody.
that. I just want to talk to Tony, get a little bit of.
Casey, you have to tell me if you know anything about Kaylee.
Sweetheart,
if anything
if I
happens to Kaylee, Casey, I'll
Stop
die.
trying to sweetheart.
Understand? I'll die.
It's so
If anything
condescending.
happens to that baby.
She's crying.
Oh my God, calling you guys a waste, huge waste.
Oh my God.
Honey, I love you. You know I would not let anything happen to my daughter. If I knew where she was, this wouldn't be going on.
So how come everybody's saying you're lying?
Because I am.
Because
Oh,
nobody's fucking listening to anything that I'm saying.
we're all listening, and it's
They
live.
completely misconstrued everything that I said. The fucking detectives told them. They got all of.
Casey, you realize that in Florida, the media was just requesting all of this stuff, and they were constantly dumping information. Right? There's no way to misconstrue. I can't even talk because you got me so irritated. There's no way to misconstrue what you said. What you said is what you said, and you're a lying liar mouth who tells lies. The end. People
She
call
has
you a
no
liar.
priorities.
Do what?
She has like her priorities like are like, let me talk to my boyfriend.
Right.
He's gonna break up with me.
Like, what are you trying to smooth over, bitch?
Their information from me, yet at the same time,
So
they're
Diane
twisting
Downing.
stuff. They've already said they're going to pin this on me if they don't find Kaylee. They've already said that.
Well,
They arrested me because they said that.
yeah, because they said that the person that you dropped Kaylee with doesn't even exist.
Because, oh, look, they can't find her in the Florida database.
No, she doesn't exist.
She's not just from Florida.
Well, she lived in Florida.
If they would actually
and
listen to
nobody
anything
had
that I would have
apartment
said
for
to them,
months.
they would have had her leave. They maybe could have tracked her down. They
Oh.
haven't listened to a thing that I've said.
You mean like when you called them and involved them in this case 31 days after she had disappeared? What a fucking twat.
These people that have
You
never
know
even met
that.
your kid.
Do what?
These people that have never even met her kid, and she's just like handing out names.
If they would have just done their jobs, Kaylee would be home by now. Never mind that I didn't tell anybody that she was missing ever until my mom busted me.
That whoever has Kaylee, nobody's going to get away with this. Nobody.
I know nobody's going to get
Well,
away with it, but at the same
Except
time,
Casey.
the
Except
only
for
way
you,
they're going to
you
find
did get away
Kaylee is
with
if
it.
they actually listen to what I'm saying, and I'm trying to help them, and they're not letting me help them.
So
wanna
how
talk
can
to
I help
Tony.
them find her? The best.
Casey, exactly how were you helping, driving them, leading them all over hell's fucking half acre to lying places? The lady, the apartment complex you took them to, the apartment that you actually took them to, hadn't had an occupant in months. You didn't work at Universal. Nobody said you didn't ever work as a subcontractor for Universal, but you weren't currently employed at Universal in any capacity. But it's ever
Did they not have badges back then? Like, how did she? She
They-
has the gall, the gumption, and the audacity.
she does. You know why they let her ass in? Because she was with the police. That's why.
Oh.
Had she not been with the police, that would have gone a whole different way. They would have turned her away. They'd have been
Thing you
like,
can do, baby,
"Get outta
listen
here."
They need to look up her information in a New York database, in a North Carolina database, other places that she's lived outside of Florida. That's what I told them even again today. I told them that 4 times today. I sat up at the police station, up at the county police station for
But she's the one who has Kaylee, or she transferred Kaylee to somebody else, because
Honey,
her
I haven't
name has
talked to her.
been.
I don't know. I haven't talked to her.
How come everybody's saying that you're not upset, that you're not crying, that you show no caring of where Kaylee
Because
is at
I'm
all?
not sitting here crying every 2
Because she's
seconds,
worried about
because I have
Tony.
to stay composed to talk to detectives, to make other phone calls, to do other things. I
I
can't
want
sit
to
here and
talk
be
to
crying
Tony. So get
every
my
2
brother in so I
seconds
can get his
like
number.
I
What the
want
fuck's wrong
to.
with you? Didn't you hear
I
what I
can't.
said?
Okay, Casey, don't yell at me. I'm on your side. I'm
I
on your
know you're
side.
not.
Trust me.
I know you're on my side. I'm not trying
Nobody
to yell at
is
you.
saying anything bad about you. Your family is with you 100%.
No, they're not.
Literally, the whole world
Because
is
I
saying
just
bad
watched
things about
the
you.
news and heard everything that my mom said. Nobody in my own family is on my side.
Yes, they are. Nobody has said.
They just want Kaylee back. That's all they're worried about
They
right
just
now.
want
Is
Kaylee
getting
back.
Kaylee back. And you know what? That's
about
all I
me?
care about right now.
Casey,
But at
your
the same time,
daughter,
I need
your
their
flesh
help.
and blood, your baby girl.
Christina, please put my brother back on the phone. I don't
Oh
want to
my
get into
gosh.
this with you right now. I love you, honey, and I'm glad that you're there. Thank you for your help. I will let you know if there's anything that you can do.
Oh, I would have hung up the
You
phone
can't
right
tell me
then.
anybody
Right?
that can find
Yeah.
Kaylee.
I
Nobody.
would
No,
have been like,
because
okay,
every
bye.
number that I've tried,
I
every
would've
number
asked
that
Cindy
I've
for
called is
gas money.
disconnected. Nothing. I can't get a hold of anybody.
Huh.
But that girl was the last person to have her.
She was the last person to have her. That was the last time I saw Kaylee.
Why did you take Kaylee to her house if you weren't working in the first damn ass place? Makes you wonder. Well,
Freaking so entitled, spoiled. Ugh.
Yes. And you know what else? Let's think about this. Casey was tried in what, 2011, right? It's 2022 now. She's had what, 10 years roughly to sit and think about this. And yet her lies are still as lame in 2022 as they were in 2011. They still make no kind of sense. And the worst part about it is she now works, and she doesn't live anymore, but she did initially. The same gentleman that helped out on her defense team, the guy who was the PI, she works for him. So she understands how to do research, right? And she hasn't picked up on any on-the-job skills that make her lies seem more realistic, believable, or even in the realm of possibilities or in the vicinity of reality. Like she
from
says,
her behavior, like her parents, her dad was not a great dad. Like he raised a piece of shit individual, but like he didn't rape her, sorry. I came in with the R too late, but anyways, he didn't do anything like that to her. Like, why? How could you hear her telling all these lies, but then decide to believe that one? Like,
see, I'll say this: as far as those allegations go, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but and I'm not going to go so far as to. I will say I'm not going to call her. I'm not going to say that I don't believe those allegations or the outcries. What I will say is this: it makes it very difficult to believe somebody who has the history of lying that Casey Anthony does. It makes you dubious when she is potentially telling the truth. I wasn't
we talked
there.
about something similar to this in the Amber Heard case. And like you either have to decide to believe all her beliefs, like all of hers, or you have to not, like you can't like either you can't pick and choose when it's the truth and when it's not because of like social, like the Me Too movement or whatever. Like,
well, what I'm saying is,
either a
for
liar
me,
or she's not a liar.
She has a credibility issue, which is why I'm not even gonna like address.
It's unfair to George to be like, oh yeah, now we believe her about this though. Like,
well, you're right. I mean, the problem with Casey is that there is an element to her behavior that a qualified one, I am not qualified, but a qualified professional could take her behavior and say it is indicative of this, that, or the other. But I will tell you this. Vinny, I guess it was one night this week, he's doing like a 3-part series about the documentary, and he has experts on, okay? And the experts that he had on were a body language expert, a speech pattern expert, and then, and by speech pattern, I mean like he used a computer program and like input the audio or whatever, and the program detects like the stress in somebody's voice. Then the other person was a person who listens to the actual words and what order they're put in, what the person actually chooses to say. I hope to God he's not analyzing me right now because this is a fucking mess. But all 3 of them said she is a liar. Even on things that shouldn't be she should not be lying about. These are innocuous questions or innocuous details that really don't mean anything one way or another. She's a liar.
You know what?
She's got a credibility issue.
If this had come out after the fact, after trial, and like then like, a couple years passed and then she said this in like a tell-all interview or something, I would probably be more inclined to believe her. But she nailed her father like while she was on the stand, while it was convenient for her to use that doubt as a defense. She brought it out in the
Well,
trial when it was convenient. And if she hadn't done that, I might believe her.
You're right. That's a good point. And I will say this. This is the other part of the documentary that there's several, but this one in particular had me floored because see, the thing about being an attorney is your client assists you in their defense, right? This is why we have competency hearings, to make sure that the person is competent to understand the charges and be able to aid in the defense, okay? But an attorney cannot make up something out of whole cloth, okay? And when she said that she did not know that Jose Baez was going to say the things he said in the opening statement that he said, that was her throwing him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course she had to know. On some level, she had to know because she's the one who gave the information in the first place. The thing of it is, it didn't start with the allegations with George. It actually started with the allegations against her brother. And that came out through jail letters. She was writing to another girl that was in jail, right? So, and Baez was her attorney at that point. What was interesting to me, though, is, first of all, obviously, you guys know, I think we talked about all of this, but before Baez isn't interviewed for, and I don't even know if they reached out to him because sometimes that fine print went by too fast and I just was like, fuck it, I'm not reading it. Anyway, but Baez was her attorney at that point. But what I think is interesting is, in all of the people that were on her team that were interviewed, they all danced around the situation as well. It's never clear in anything that any of those people that worked on Casey Anthony's team, if any of them relayed the SA allegations to Jose Baez directly. Because if you listen carefully, Casey never comes out and says that she told Jose that. And nobody else, the one person said that she told Casey to be open and honest. But there's an element, oh, for fuck's sake. There's an element of, it does almost look a little clipped right there. I'm not going to lie. Ooh. Thank you, Mo. Mo is on it. Wait, you got to hide him though, babe. Hold on. Oh, you did hide him. Good job. All right. Anyway, so I found that to be interesting, that nobody that worked with Casey during her trial came out and directly said, we told Baez this was going on and he spoke to Casey. None of that happened. It's weird.
But the investigators did say that, like the prosecution did say that, that they didn't find any evidence of that ever occurring. So,
well, I
know it's not the same thing, but like the investigators must have looked into that, like the possibility that George was involved, and then,
well, they had to. That was their main argument, is that nobody looked at George, and George was the last there was the two of them. Casey and George are the last two people to have seen Kaylee, right? And so the documentary, and this is the part that I want to get into. I want to know, it's part of the investigation. The case is closed. She was acquitted. They're never going to look. The case is closed. I'm going to request those documents. I want to know if there's validity to how much or how little they looked into George, because it may just be that they didn't have to look that deep into George because they were able to verify very quickly the things that he was saying already. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there was no need for them to do. Casey came out the fucking gate line.
Mm-hmm.
Her first interaction with the cops on really not even the cops, with 911 was a lie. I mean, she started lying immediately.
Hello.
Huh? Yes. She was so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Which, let's be honest, this is weird to me too. The way that those calls ended up. It started out with Cindy wanting her daughter arrested. And then by the third call, all of a sudden Kaylee is missing. It's very, very weird. I don't know. Something is on Casey's part. But it does, you know what I'm saying? My point with the whole Jose Baez thing is, how would Jose know how to tailor her defense if he was unaware?
She said that she talked to him every day and they have multiple conversations. Like,
right. But this is her thing. This is what she says. He never told me what he was going to say because he wanted an honest reaction from me. Okay, first of all, that might be a reasonable explanation if it wasn't you. Because Casey is chameleon-like. She is good at adjusting on the fly. You know what I mean? So and that's the other thing. Okay, so he wanted you to have an honest reaction. But there were points in that trial, Casey, and don't you tell me there weren't, where you were shaking your head. And I know that Jose did not tell you to have an emotional reaction during testimony in front of that jury. No lawyer would tell you to do that.
So on like that, no, like if he had thought that, okay, well, I just want to get her honest reaction. I mean, if she had not told him about that, why would he think that her reaction would be anything but like shock and horror? You know, like
exactly.
Why would he be so audacious to like imagine that she'll have the correct reaction to accusing her father of something like that? You know,
correct. More to the point, what good attorney with a client like Casey? And I'm talking about her personality and the way that she behaves. Why would you take that risk knowing that Casey actually has a history of inappropriate reactions? Why would you roll the dice in front of a death penalty qualified jury? Because that's what these people were. They were from here. They were from Pinellas County.
Yeah.
And they just bust them.
I don't think that is like a risk that a defense attorney
would ever take, not in a death penalty case. So that makes no sense. Which is, I'm very curious.
It's their job to have the client help in their defense. Like, they're not just going to pull an extra defense thing out of their pocket.
No. No. They can't they can't make something up either. They can't offer an explanation for what occurred based out of their brain. It has to come from their clients in some capacity. Like Mullis, his story was, and his lawyer adjusted it slightly, but his lawyer basically repeated what his client had told him. Good night, Corky. See you tomorrow, babe. Have a good Monday. Thanks for being here. So my point is that what I'm curious to see is if at some point Jose addresses that, because that's not a good, the way that she is explaining it makes it seem, well, it doesn't make it seem. She's basically saying that his defense wasn't above board, because how in the actual, why would she be surprised that he would bring that up? That's the part I will not understand. Hey, John, Boston.
Yeah, and like as far as he knew, if she had never told him, then he was she loved her father. It was a great father-daughter relationship. Like that's way too much.
Right.
Too much.
And you don't think that they sat down together every day, for hours, like she says, you know what I'm saying, and strategized? You don't think he can, because there are times when there is a conflict between what the attorney wants to do as far as the client's defense, and the client will say, no, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
And during that time preparing for the trial and during the trial, she was not in jail. So
Yes, she was.
no, she wasn't. I mean, there was a period of time where she was not in jail and he was her attorney. So like before that interrogation we just watched, because she had the bodyguard that was assisting Jose.
Oh, yeah.
And so like there was a
I
period of
thought
time
that
when
was
they were
after. I
what?
thought that was after she got out, but maybe you're right. I forgot about that. She
Yeah,
must
it was
have,
before
maybe she did. She must have made bail then on the child neglect and
and have you ever read
false
that
report.
guy's
8 days.
that guy wrote an affidavit about like his time that he spent being the like bodyguard and helper or whatever for Casey Anthony. He wrote an affidavit for some other court case, and there was so much information in there, but he said that they were throwing all kinds of theories at the wall just to see what would stick, and they would like talk them out and
I
stuff.
remember
And
that. Hey, good night, Sam, babe. Sweet dreams.
and that they like even had like tried like they discussed like blaming him and blaming the neighbor and blaming the guy that found Kaylee. Like
Yes.
they were just throwing, spaghetti at the wall to see how it went, and that stuck.
Well, I think that I will say this. One thing that Baez is known for is he will have a jaw dropping moment in his opening. That's just who he is. You know what I mean? That's his style, and dramatic, I should say. He can be dramatic. He was dramatic when he defended Aaron Hernandez, but I don't. Even if Casey wasn't a lying liar face who tells lies, right? Even if it was anybody else on the entire planet that said the exact same thing, I didn't know that my attorney was going to say that at trial. I wouldn't believe them. I would know that wasn't true because that's not how it works.
I think that Jose Baez, like the vibe I get from him is that like Casey is the case that put him on the map, but he'd rather forget about it, not ever talk about it again. Like Jody Arias's lawyer, like he did what he had to do, but he was a terrible thing, and he doesn't want to think about it all the time. I mean, it did put him on the map though. Even Letitia tried to say that he was Letitia Stouch tried to say that Jose Baez was her attorney.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to? Yeah, I mean, it is you're completely 100% correct. It is the trial that put him on the map, and now he's like Casey who.
Yeah, like he'd rather that one just be one of the statistics of his firm, not like
right. Don't ask me about
page
it
on the website.
Correct. It's not going on my LinkedIn, bitch.
Yeah. and meanwhile, he's one of Casey's references.
Yes. This guy but that's the other thing. If you in order for me to feel like I can effectively discuss the documentary and then also know what I'm going to look for, I have to watch it a couple of times, right? And one thing that I noticed is there's a little bit of a conflict between what the PI is saying and what his body is doing. And to me, this is what I'll say. I don't think he's being 100% honest when he says that he trusts Casey. What I would suggest is closer to the truth is that he's not 3, so she's no threat. And that he keeps a very close eye on her. And that I do think that they have formed a friendship over the years. That I do think. But I also think that Casey is a lot of things, but she's not one that will bite the hand that feeds her. And for a good amount of time, like a year or something like that, she lived with him and his family. And she had nowhere else to go. And she
Jose or
the
the other guy?
Okay. The PI. She had nowhere else to go. So
Well,
I nobody else to turn to. Her family had cut her off. That was it for her. So I
after
think
she
that
got out of prison, like Jose Baez gave her money to like go get an apartment and like establish like to live for like basically till she got back up on her feet.
he did, but then what they realized is first of all, her age, it was against her. She's young and inexperienced, and that's just the truth. And this isn't like me or you, right? We just got let out of jail and we could figure it out. Her crime, what she was accused of, and there was so much anger after that trial verdict was read, that the PI is the one that was like, yeah, that's great that she's got money, but she cannot fend for herself out here. And I think that that's why he took her in. But I will say this, I think that Casey in that time and how she earned his trust, and I would still be watching him if watching her if I were him, because
I think he's not immune to her taking advantage of him at any moment.
Absolutely not. And because at this point, she is out on her own. She says she's living with a roommate, which I find weird because
who would live with her?
Exactly. Like, where do you find somebody? Yeah. Like, where do you find somebody that's like, hey, you want to split the rent? I mean, I was acquitted of my daughter's murder. There's that bit, but my credit is stellar. I've got great rental history.
To stay in Florida, she just see her nerve. It's just
she can't. Well, for a
and
long
then
time she couldn't
to
go
date a
anywhere.
cop, and then to call the cops at a bar.
Right. She's got a lot of. I mean, she does have some nerve.
God, stay away from cops, Casey. They're not going to marry you.
Stay away from humans, Casey. You need to be on an island somewhere.
You are not marriage material, especially for a police officer. He could never take you to the Christmas thing.
Can you imagine taking her to the policeman's ball and everybody's decked out to the nines and you fucking walk in with Casey Anthony on your arm?
in Pinellas County. Like, okay. Hey, how are you doing? How have you been?
Yeah.
She'll know them all for the wrong reasons.
Well, hers is Citrus County. The jury was from Pinellas, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the rather than move the whole trial, they just got in a different. They picked a jury from a different area, and Pinellas is not that far from Orange County. It's like I don't know, like an hour and a half, maybe, if that. It's not that far. Florida's not very wide. It's just real long. But anyway, yeah. There's a lot about that documentary or docuseries that I'm going to have to go back and watch it before I can feel like I've caught all the little things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in chat, this hi, John Boston. That's super interesting. I've been reading the chat.
Me too.
We're just me and Jen are just a little like skeptical of everybody, and it's not you. It's nothing you've done. Everything you're saying is really interesting. We just know that people feel really one way or another about this case. You should tell your story on TikTok. You'll go viral.
Yeah, it would. It would. I mean, I find what you're saying fascinating. I will, I do think that Cindy lives in the town of denial. I think that that's her immediate coping mechanism is just to pretend like it's not happening. She didn't, when Casey was clearly pregnant, and this has been independently verified. So I do believe this, that Cindy didn't want to address it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and that was a different time too. Like
it was 2005. I was pregnant in 2005. It was not that different, honey. I promise it was not.
My daughter makes it sound like it was ancient ages.
It was not that different of a time. If it were the 90s, I would say you have something there, because I remember in the mid 80s to the late or 80s to the early 90s.
They're not sending her off to Baby Ranch to have the baby, but
No.
it obviously shamed them. It shamed the way Cindy and George Anthony were. It was a shameful thing for them. So, I mean,
Yeah, but she wasn't like, she was 19, not 16.
well, she was a whore. I'm just kidding. Because you know what? I really don't know the story of how if Kaylee was
I don't think
conceived.
anybody
And so I
knows.
take that back. I'm just kidding. I think that she's a whore based on her actions after all of them since then, but I don't know how Kaylee was conceived. So
Right,
I'm not
nobody
saying
does. But the thing is that yes, do I think that they felt some type of way because she was young? Yes. But she wasn't like 16 and pregnant or 15 and pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it happened in 2008. But Kaylee was 3 then. She was born in 2005 is what I'm saying. So it wasn't that, and she wasn't that she was young, but not that young. You know what I mean? And why would you deny it? I can understand not going, to your workplace and discussing it with your coworkers, but to your own family, that's weird.
Well, she was probably, oh God, she probably hadn't decided on a liar, however to do it yet, because I mean, that poor dude that got dragged into it that she told was the dad, and then he had a disappointment of a paternity test, and then she drags him into court, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Well, we've been on a long time, 2.5 hours. We hardly ever go this long, me and you. So I want to thank you guys all very, very much for being here. Thank you for being here, Christine. This was
Thanks for having me back. It's been so long.
You got to come back more often. You know the door's always open. I'm talking to you too. I don't know why you don't come.
I'm gonna be here for trivia as what?
Yes. I gotta get.
I'm the best host. I come with the
scoreboard.
scoreboard.
You are an excellent host. You are. But if you're going to be hosting the true crime trivia, you can't play.
Yes, I can.
In your brain, where nobody can hear you, you can play. Don't be giving out the answers. All right, you guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Nay. Thank you for suggesting this.
Yes, Nay. This was a fantastic idea. Absolutely fantastic. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye. Good night.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.